Ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals, non-binary pals, and the technicolor rainbow in between, I am Chris Boingo Ryder Gaston, and with me is my tag team partner,
Simeon the Vacuuminator Scott.
And
Hard times make better men.
And this is Modular Media Wrestling Podcast, and this is a paradigm shift because we are all in.
Oh yes, indeed. Hashtag friendship with Vince McMahon ended.
Let's put it a better way. Slavery within Vince McMahon ended.
Yes. We're alive! Breathing fresh air for the first time.
We will get to that. But we gotta go through some flogging first. This month at WWE, I didn't watch.
This month at WWE, I quit the main roster after half of it.
Oh God! Like this is WCW 2000.
Yeah, like I don't want to be full on WWE shit kind of guy because a lot of people I like work there. There's still some good ideas being tossed around. I mean, you can't say anything about NXT, really. And it's just Vince and we'll talk about this when we get to the Moxley interview at the end of the podcast, but the creative process they have going on right now is just breeding some of the most absolute dreck on TV right now, and I can't bear to watch it anymore. I mean, there's only two words I need to say to epitomize that direction they're going in, and that is wild card.
Oh God. Okay, failing ratings. WWE goes, hey, we have big stars from another show that aren't on this show. Let's just not care about continuity.
Yeah. So, basically, in one of the most bizarre promos I've ever seen, like, even up there with the T-shirts promo, fucking Vince comes out one night on Raw and is just like, shit's fucked, but I came up with a genius idea to unfuck the shit. Wild card rules. Now, any other fucking free, I don't know, people from SmackDown can come to Raw people can go to SmackDown. We're gonna have people show up where they don't normally show up, except it'll be normal within 2 weeks. Because I'm Vince McMahon, damn it, and fucking I need ratings! I need my ratings! And then the same, like, 3 or 4 people kept coming back every week. It's not fucking randomized, wow, I haven't seen this person on this show in forever. It's, we're adding more bullshit into people's storylines that already feel kind of bloated.
It's very much like it just reeks of desperation. Like it's very much, we have Roman, but he's on this show and we can't use him here, and the writers don't know how to do anything else other than, I just want to write Roman,
because they've been so busy trying to get Roman over for however many fucking years it's been now.
It's extremely frustrating in so many levels. And like, if they were using this for like low card talent, mid card talent, to kind of get new fresh feuds going on, that'd be interesting. But
yeah, if it was more like, here's a fucking 205 person showing up, or here's an NXT UK guy on Raw randomly, or here's somebody from the bottom tier of the card on Raw in the main event of SmackDown, that would be amazing. But it's not.
Like,
and speaking of 205, you know who was supposed to debut because of the Superstar shakeup and still hasn't debuted on Raw or SmackDown?
Buddy Murphy?
Buddy Murphy. I haven't seen Cedric Alexander anywhere either.
It's almost as if they wanted to do a change for the sake of doing a change instead of, like, having a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Cough, Sanity, Viking Raiders, Ricochet, Aleister Black, who else? Nikki Cross.
At least...
Io
See, I almost said at least Nikki's getting to do something now, but fucking Jesus.
Kairi Sane, and Cough. All right.
Yeah. It's one of the most bizarre, one of the worst handled decisions I have seen WWE make since I became a wrestling fan. And I'm only counting current stuff
There's one that tops it, honestly. And it happened this month.
I'm not sure which one you're talking about, so do you want to just jump to it?
Okay, let's just quickly, because we don't care about this shit anymore, let's just quickly go through it. Table for 3, Superstar Wives, that was fun. Neat.
Yes, really great. Gained a lot of new respect for Randy Orton. Man is a incredibly hopeless romantic, and I never would have thought that about him until I heard his wife talk about the way he proposed.
I love the way Matt Hardy talked to Rebby, and it was just like, don't bury me too hard, or bury me softly, I think it was.
Yes.
And that was fun. Daniel Bryan and Rowan become the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. That's fine.
Yeah, it works for their characters and what they've been doing, but I wish an actual a pre-established tag team had won. But there are no pre-established tag teams on SmackDown anymore.
God. But it still keeps Daniel Bryan noted with some gold. It's fine. It fits. It makes sense.
He cut a good promo this week. Somebody sent it to me, sent the YouTube clip to me, and I watched it. This nice promo about fracking.
Yeah, thank God he's going back to the Eco Warrior thing. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
WWE is taking more Saudi blood money.
Fucking, why did you have to ruin... Literally, the best experience I've ever had watching a pay-per-view. When you and I watched the now I have to say this, the Australian Super Showdown together. Most fun I've ever had watching a wrestling thing. Now that entire experience is going to be slightly sullied by the fact that they've done a Saudi show with that name.
It's like the Sonic 06 thing.
Mm-hmm.
There was Sonic the Hedgehog, and now you've just ruined it by making Sonic 06.
Yeah.
Also, there's a video I need to send you. An old video essayist that was part of That Guy with the Glasses just made a WWE Saudi Arabian money video.
Ooh.
And he's basically... it's nothing we don't already know. It's basically just laying out more of the details and going like, hey, remember, Donald Trump exists, is friends with Vince McMahon, and wants to sell guns to the Saudi Arabian government. Stuff like that. Infamous Tom McGee match finally resurfaces. I didn't watch this. I didn't get a chance to.
Okay, so I'll do like a quick little spiel on this because I was like super hyped for this and watched
I know the story. I know the story of it. I just didn't watch the match.
Yeah, I watched it live while somebody streamed it on Rabbit, the network special as it was airing on the network the first time. Really cool. They it's only like a 6-minute match, so they did like an entire documentary special on it around that played before it. And it was really cool to get to see people actually talk about this and that era of wrestling and how bizarre it is that this got filmed and that there was commentary done for it. And the fact that they found it just because Bret Hart had a tape of it somewhere and his assistant was digitizing all his tapes for him and just posted it on Twitter and was like, I heard people were looking for this. What is it? And then Tom McGee himself came in and did like a little shoot on what went down, how it happened, and where he's at now. Apparently he runs like a jazzercise thing and is perfectly happy with how his life has gone. So good for him.
That's good. I mean, it's kind of shitty that his sole claim to professional wrestling fame is being carried through a good match.
Yeah, but as they said in the documentary, I forget who said it. It was some like mid-Carter who's now in management, old guy, said like, Tom McGee really ought to start doing conventions because there's a freaking market for the Shockmaster at conventions, so there's certainly a market for him.
Oh yeah.
And then the actual match turned out to be exactly what it's been described as. Not anything incredible, but a pretty solid Bret Hart match.
But it's interesting to know in the back of your head that guy knows nothing and Bret Hart is doing all of this.
Yeah.
It really it probably just exemplifies how good Bret Hart is.
Mm-hmm. There's a reason that man is called the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
That's just fucking MJF, man. MJF. We'll get to there. Mojo Rawley debuts a new look. Shame nobody's ever gonna see it.
Yeah. So it debuted on Main Event of all things, and then they re-debuted it on Raw. No. They didn't re-debut it on Raw. They re-debuted it on a house show in Europe, and then they re-debuted it on Raw. So this thing got 3 debuts, and they hardly did anything to promote it, get it over, and now Mojo is nowhere to be found again, which is a shame because I actually like the idea behind his gimmick. It's sort of a similar thing to what Bray Wyatt's going for, but it's more of a blaming himself kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But it's probably gonna do nothing and go nowhere, so I fuck.
I saw the face paint. It looked kind of neat.
Yeah.
That's about
People
it.
were saying it looked like a ball sack, and I didn't get that at all, but okay.
I can see the vein thing, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, friendship forming? I don't care.
Yeah. This was so hard to watch because it's like there's this.
Isn't this when Nikki Cross started acting like a shy, like, wallflower?
Yeah, that's what they're trying to do with her. Is like Nikki's like, I've been here for over 3 months now, and no one wants to play with Nikki, but I just want to be friends. Will you be my friend, Alexa? And she's like, yeah, go be in a match for me because my gear got lost at the airport.
Honestly, it's not a bad character direction. It's interesting. It's like, oh, she's a shy wallflower behind the scenes, but in the ring, she's Nikki Cross.
Yeah, see, I thought they were going to do a rehash of the bullying stuff Alexa did last year and the bullying stuff Nikki did in NXT, but with those two put together to sort of make like a Ultimate Comics version of it. But if that is what it is, it hasn't gotten there yet, and it's been hella boring so far because it's literally just been Nikki doing all this work because Alexa's still injured, and so Alexa gets put over at the end of Nikki matches.
It's a poor use of Nikki Cross.
Mm-hmm.
The saving grace of WWE, Firefly Funhouse's dark secret gets revealed. It's basically
the fucking muscles on Bray Wyatt to just carry an entire company for 2 months now.
Oh dear God! That is the sole good thing about anything WWE right now. It's Firefly Funhouse.
Yeah.
It is the most interesting thing. It is the most fascinating thing. It's not even goddamn wrestling, and it's so goddamn good.
I kind of wish it was just him making this for his own YouTube channel, but the production value would probably be way lower.
But, like, basically, Bray Wyatt's character is now a children's performer, and he's basically been throwing in more dark and eerie elements, and he basically revealed his ring gear.
He's a big spoopy man called The Fiend.
Which
and his mask was made by Tom the fucking It guy, the guy who did 80s monster makeup. He did that mask for him. It's cool.
And his ring gear is kind of like a cross between Doink the Clown, a ringmaster, It, and that era of the Joker where he cut his own face off.
Mm-hmm.
And put that all together and put it with the voice and the mannerisms of Steve from Blue's Clues.
Yeah, it's so good.
He even has like that kitty catchphrase, "Wowie's yowie wowie,"
which is becoming a chant in matches he's not even involved in.
Like, I've been
Like-
hearing some like concept remixes of his entrance theme, and like at the end of it, they put in "Wowie, yowie, wowie." And it's just so good, so dumb, so good.
I love that Yowie Wowie is becoming like the kiddie version of the holy shit chant.
Oh man, just imagine this Bray Wyatt versus broken Matt Hardy.
Oh, now I'm sad.
Man, just imagine Matt Hardy jumping into Firefly Funhouse. Oh man, that'd be Shane McMahon's acting like a McMahon.
In other obvious news, water is wet.
He's just getting a bunch of heels doing heel shit. Does it matter? Has he done anything? Have they done anything? Do the heel characters feel like individual characters or just like extensions of Shane McMahon? It doesn't matter.
Not really. I mean, even though Wrestle Talk is still doing the joke, Baron Corbin isn't really the leader of the mid-card of evil anymore. He's kind of been shunted to the back because they realized fans hated him, and they put Shane in his place.
No. Baron Corbin's just the engine. He runs like Shane's controlling the car, but Baron Corbin's the engine making it run.
Probably.
Asuka and Kairi Sane officially named the Kabuki Warriors, and people were having a fit, but like that's half of Asuka's gimmick.
It's a perfectly serviceable name. It is not an optimal name, and it's just. I think the reason people are mad about it is because it feels like a furthering of the burying of Asuka. Because Kabuki is like you said, it's half her gimmick, and it's the less interesting half.
Ah, man. I mean, I understand it because also Kabuki traditionally in theater heavily features war stories and fighting and like all that kind of stuff. It fits. It's just.
You know it's only there because it's one of the free Japanese things Vince knows.
Yeah. The best way to put it, it's putting the square peg into the rectangle hole. It fits, but not quite enough.
Yeah.
Interview from anonymous WWE creative team member it shows exactly what we expected.
Yeah, so should I read off all these bullet points, or do you just want to give your general reaction to this? Because I don't know if you've read this.
I haven't read this, so
okay,
go through some bullet points.
Basically, I forget which show this is. This is from WrestleTalk.com. So, Wade Keller, who runs the highly respected Pro Wrestling Torch, had a caller call in on his show this past week who claimed to be close friends with 3 of WWE's top writers, and he basically said all this. WWE's problems are not the fault of the writers. No one should rip on WWE creative. They have some of the most brilliant, unbelievably cool ideas I've ever heard, he was told. We're waiting for an audience of one, and we're writing for an audience of one, and never forget that. And if not, you're out of here. The most frustrated person in the back every single night is Triple H. He'll always take, especially the NXT guys, under his wings. It looks like he's consoling them. It looks so much like he was the most frustrated person in the building every single night. The wildcard rule was not in the script on the morning of the show. The Superstar shakeup changed week to week, and it didn't pan out how it originally laid out months prior. Everything changed because Vince just decided to change it. He talked about the turnover with so many people backstage quitting or being fired. SmackDown and Raw writers teams are the same for both shows. They used to be separate, but they changed that recently after the shakeup. Pretty fucking obvious. The caller emphasized that the problems in WWE are not the creative's fault, and Vince McMahon is the one person who deserves the blame. Vince wants suggestions from everyone, but it never gets on TV 99 out of 100 times. You can come up with an idea for Vince and it won't be used. The entire creative team has pitched to have Raw and SmackDown look completely different with different production, a different way of shooting things, etc., and McMahon shoots it down. Vince McMahon doesn't want to keep track of what is going on with NXT. He maybe watches takeover shows. The writers say he just watches WWE and works out and is not aware of things going on in the real world. The writers say there is no chance of Vince stepping down. Dana Brooke has been the hardest worker for the last 3 years. She goes to the Performance Center. She shows up early and helps set up the ring. She gets in the ring so she can get better. Creative will pitch something for her, and she gets nothing up until recently with Money in the Bank. The caller offered to tell Wade Keller off the air some of the cool storylines that were pitched and never used. The writer he talked to said, "We're all working for Dana Warrior, and it's really awkward. The WWE Fox contract prohibits Fox from moving the show to FS1 even if the ratings drop. One writer is very close to quitting because he is so unbelievably unhappy, and many of the writers are paranoid and think they are close to being fired. It's such a toxic atmosphere, and it's all because of one person. When Neville walked out, there was a crazy shouting match, and he flipped out on Vince McMahon, and that was the last time they saw him. The writers praised Neville for being so easy to work with. Ideas never pan out as originally planned because writers will come up with stuff, and then Vince loses interest after a week or two. He used Mojo Rawley as an example. The money is good, and it's a dream job for many writers, but it gets frustrating. The talent is very unhappy and people are trying to get out of their contracts. The writers say Bruce Pritchard is a pleasure to work with. He's a funny guy and a pleasure to work with, but he's not getting through to Vince either. Stephanie McMahon, Triple H, Shane McMahon, Triple H, and Stephanie McMahon have tried to talk to Vince, but it hasn't worked. The people on the writing staff have listened to the podcasts and they hear fans blasting them. It breaks their hearts. Insert apology from both of us here. Vince is in the announcer's ear to a sentence. He gets on them for tiny mistakes. On Sami Zayn. That's not Sami Zayn's promos. That's Vince talking through Sami Zayn.
Pause. I just want to say Sami Zayn's been doing a great job with that then.
There are 37 total writers and they are working on both shows. NBC Universal and Fox both want the top stars. Andrade went into Vince's office and asked for a legit push. Vince looked at him and said, "Learn some English and get back to me." Andrade spoke some English last week and he's been taking English lessons. The Firefly Funhouse stuff is all Bray Wyatt's idea. Bray is described as an absolute genius, and he helps other wrestlers with their promos. He's one of the best guys in the locker room. The writers he talked to say they loved when there was a real brand split. He mentioned the Revival/Usos storyline being done because Vince just thinks it's funny. Some of the writers think that Road Dogg will eventually end up in AEW. And that's
Road Dogg eventually went to NXT.
Yeah. Because he wanted to be with his friend. And that's all of it. So, holy fucking shit. If that guy wasn't just calling in for attention, we have been so right about so much stuff.
Oh, boy. But it kind of got confirmed later on.
Mm-hmm.
Money into this. Do you have more to say?
No, go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
So I watched Money in the Bank live this year. I don't know why I decided...
Money in the Disappointment?
Yeah, Money in the Disappointment. I don't know why I decided to do that, because you weren't around, and usually I only enjoy watching wrestling pay-per-views live and paying attention to them if I'm doing it with you, Chris.
Thank you.
But I saw a Rabbit stream was happening, and it was still in the pre-show, so I clicked on it, because I was like, hey, I could probably watch half of it before I have to go to work. I got about 4 matches in, and it was probably some of the most disappointing pay-per-view action I've seen in a long time. All the pre-show matches just sucked outright. I don't care how big a fan you are of some of those tag teams. Those matches were boring and awful, and there were some really blatant botches. the highlight of the women's Money in the Bank match was Naomi's outfit, because fuck yeah, Bumblebee. I don't know why DC doesn't use that character more often.
Maybe it's a copyright thing with Hasbro.
Possibly. Fucking, I don't even remember what was after that, but then Becky Lynch had her 2 matches of the night, and she lost one of her titles in a really stupid way, and then the person she lost her title to got cashed in by the winner of the Women's Money in the Bank, which was Bayley, which, okay, good for Bayley, but I'm not a big Bayley fan, so I found that really disappointing.
They also did that spot last year.
Yeah.
With the women's immediately cashing in. Almost as Vince doesn't care about the Women's Money in the Bank and just wanted to get it out of the way.
Yep, and, honestly, I kind of rage quit the entire main roster after that. I was like, I'm done watching this, because even though I love these people, there's no point in getting my hopes up for them to get to do good shit. I'm done with... Until Vince McMahon is dead, working solely on the XFL, or has just completely changed his creative process, I am not going to watch Raw or SmackDown anymore. Full stop.
It's like watching your favorite characters being written by Rob Liefeld.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, not even Rob Liefeld, because he was popular for a bit. Who's that one guy that fucking... It's Frank Miller. It's being written by modern...
It's
Frank
old
Miller.
man... It's Frank Miller is a perfect allegory to Vince McMahon, because he was great back in his prime, and now anytime his corpse gets dragged up by DC, he writes the most horrible shit imaginable.
Let's talk about the worst thing of that night, though. The winner of the men's Money in the Bank.
Oh, you wanted to fucking...
Brock fucking Lesnar.
Why? Why? Why is Brock Lesnar still in WWE? I do not fucking understand this shit.
He's getting paid, that's why. It's because honestly, you want to know the reason Brock Lesnar's still in the company? He's the only goddamn star they have.
Yep.
Because Vince McMahon fucking flattens everybody else out and treats them like shit. Now the only stars WWE has are John Cena and Brock Lesnar.
And John Cena's busy with movies.
John Cena's keeping WWE at arm's length.
Yeah.
It's not good for his image right now, which is good on you, John.
And I will give fucking... I can't believe I'm saying this, but I will give WWE marks this. The Brock box is a funny gimmick, but it's gonna get dragged through the mud. It's gonna get dragged through the mud for the next 4 to 6 months, and I ain't about that shit.
It's fun because we're so used to seeing Brock Lesnar be Brock Lesnar that it's fun to see him actually have a personality. You know? That's why it's interesting. He's showing personality. Mm-hmm. Strange how that works for a wrestling show. I love the moment when Paul Heyman's reading through the contract and he gets to he has 1 year and Brock just looks at him. Wait, repeat that? In 1 year? I have 1 year? Wait, give me the contract. And he reads it and he just starts smacking Paul Heyman. He's like, I have 1 year? And Paul Heyman's just incredulously going you didn't know? And Brock Lesnar just starts laughing to himself, and he just goes into the mic. He just goes, "You want me to pick now?
I'm gonna troll you, motherfucker, so hard."
That's brilliant. That was good. And it's Paul Heyman, so I guarantee it was his idea.
I mean, I did watch the clip of them on Raw this week, which will be last week by the time this comes out, and Heyman air guitaring in the background while Brock is playing Seth's theme out of his Money in the Bank case, which, cool that they made that prop. But Heyman air guitaring is one of the most wonderful things I've ever seen in my life. I hope there's a gif of that somewhere.
See, here's the thing. Making Brock Lesnar the Money in the Bank holder, bad idea. Doing this with Brock Lesnar, good idea.
Mm-hmm. So maybe if, like, Ali had won it and then Brock Lesnar had come out of nowhere on Raw and killed him and started using the briefcase? No, still terrible.
Speaking of terrible, the new 24-hour title belt is revealed by Mick Foley. I'm so sorry, Mick, that you had to do this.
I love how in his backstage interview after this promo, he's like trying to escape on a go-kart from the interviewer.
Like,
he's like, this ain't my fucking shit. I got my paycheck, I'm leaving. Like,
the belt looks like shit. They're doing shit with it. Apparently, it wasn't even Vince's idea.
Okay,
Apparently
so I get why people don't like this belt, but honestly, I don't think it's terrible. I have seen worse belts.
I have seen worse belts, but it's shit. It's a shit belt. It's boring.
I don't know. I kind of it. Kind of looks like the logo for a like random diner you find on the side of the highway.
Like, I saw a mock-up of someone turned it into a clock, and I was like, "That's brilliant. That looks cool."
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's neat.
Yeah, you can tell they really rushed this through creative.
Oh, fuck yeah. Just look at the side plates. They're just mirrors. Like, someone came up with a neat idea. Oh, they're mirrored because it's going to change hands so much. It just, you look at it, and it's your face, so it makes sense. It's like, yeah, but, like, that's lazy.
I do like how it has been implemented storyline so far, though. The constant scramble. Like, it's going to get really tiresome for hardcore fans really quick, but the constant scramble on, like, social media after the show of, like, people posting videos of them chasing whoever the new champion is, like, at least backstage has something fun going on now.
It's been R-Truth for, like, 2 weeks, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well, R-Truth lost it for, like, 5 seconds on Raw to Elias, and then Roman Reigns came out and beat up Elias and put R-Truth's corpse over top of Elias's corpse, and then R-Truth woke up and ran away, and I only know that because I saw GIFs on Twitter.
Roman, like, imagine how cool that belt would have been if Roman had won it. Like, that would have immediately made you go, like, really? Neat. Mm-hmm. But no, because he's too important for that. Speaking of important, one of the few saving graces of WWE, The Miz. Second half of this reality show. I don't really watch it. You want to inform me of it?
Fucking, what did I say about it last time? I'll say that again. It's still pretty good.
All right. Steve Austin, his podcast show thing is going to be on USA, premiering in August.
Yep, because he needs money and USA needs viewers and WWE needs help. Vince is cashing in every fucking favor he has in the face of ratings going down and AEW coming up.
Oh, God. We're gonna.
I will bet you this is how their phone conversation went down. Steve, I know you haven't done something with us for a very long time, but we're losing ratings like crazy, and USA wants you to do a show that goes on after Raw. That would basically be your podcast. Well, shit, Vince. Can I still drink on it? I think so. Fine.
Just imagine in like a year's time, and AEW's like triple the ratings of WWE shows.
Oh, God.
Just imagine the vein appearing in Vince's forehead.
Vince would die of a hernia.
God damn. Like, just like, because here's the thing, people are worried, like, oh, it's just a hardcore focused show with AEW, so it's focused so much on the fans. Is anybody new gonna like it? I'm going like, yeah. Everybody
because it's wrestling.
Like, yeah.
People. Here's the thing:
here's the thing.
WWE.
Half of WWE's audience are old retirees. You want to know how you immediately make them go to the other channel? You go, hey, this is like the wrestling you grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
there's blood. And 90% of those grandmas are going to go, there's blood. Bloop.
Yeah. And then there's fucking... Like, here's the thing. WWE has been so crazy trying to ingratiate themselves with the mainstream for the last 10 years by making themselves more and more PG and focusing more and more on in-ring promos and goofy bullshit. But the thing is, mainstream people don't find that entertaining in wrestling. Mainstream people are watching shit like UFC. People who want to watch stuff about people fighting want to watch people beat the shit out of each other. They want to watch wrestling matches. So, if you just do good wrestling matches, you will get your viewers.
And here's the thing. You do more than one wrestling match. Because all of WWE's matches are so similar. And watching... We'll get to it. But it just felt like... Wait, you can do different things?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been getting that drip fed through me through MLW, and it's like, oh, this has been feeling good. But now it's like, oh, it was like
you were taking a sip of water, and now you're just pouring that water all over your head.
Oh yeah, it's like, oh, it's so good. NXT Takeover 25, the first solo takeover.
Yeah, cool. They're doing a big anniversary thing. Good for them. It's this fucking Saturday. It will have aired by the time our show comes out.
Yep. Takeover Toronto also announced. So a bunch of cool stuff.
Cool. I like the logo they made for it. I like how annoyed Torontonians were by that logo.
What were they saying?
I think it was something along the lines of, oh wow, that's all you know about Canada, Triple H is hunting.
Beth Phoenix added to NXT commentary team. It's not the worst thing in the world.
Honestly, she's been doing a better job on NXT than she has on any of the fucking pay-per-views they've had her commentate on.
It's almost as if Vince McMahon's not in her goddamn ear.
Mm-hmm.
Shame about Percy Jackson. He was getting really, really good on NXT, though.
Yeah, but he left because he wanted to. He had other career ideas, so, you know... If he's happy about it, if he goes somewhere with what he's doing now, good for him.
Yeah, Johnny Gargano versus Undisputed Era versus themselves, featuring Matt Riddle.
Yeah. What a fun, crazy, like, good-ass, old-school, multifaceted feud this storyline has been. Can't wait to see it conclude on Saturday.
I haven't been keeping up, so I'll catch up with the video package.
All right.
Tag team titles vacated because what happened?
Okay, so basically there was a promo, or not a promo, but like an interstitial segment on an episode of NXT where the Forgotten Sons jumped the Viking Raiders on the way out of the Performance Center and beat the shit out of them and then drove off. And then the next week the Viking Raiders come out and go like, hey, we've been having fun on Raw. And the crowd is like, no, you haven't. We haven't done anything on Raw. We're going to go have more fun on Raw. No, you're not. But to do that, we can't keep coming here. We've got to commit to that schedule. Are you fucking kidding us? Nope. We're vacating the titles. And then fucking, I think it was Street Profits. Yeah, them. They came out. And they were like, no, you fucking aren't. We still haven't gotten to fight you. We want to fight you. We want those titles, and we're not going to feel like we earned them unless we beat you. And they went, no, we're not doing that. We came out here to vacate our titles. And then they made some kind of glib comment about them and their name change or something like that. And one of the Viking Raiders went, make the match, bitch. And then they had a tag match as the main event of an episode of NXT. Viking Raiders won. And they still vacated the titles. And so now there's going to be a 4-way for the titles in a ladder match at TakeOver 25.
Bad Vince booking makes NXT booking worse because Triple H has to deal with his bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Sad. Dream and Breeze, Clash on the Runway. This is at least exciting.
This... Right after very roster. I didn't really people always told me he was great. And he sounded like a cool gimmick. So I was like, well, maybe I'll go back and watch some of them eventually. And I never did. And then this segment happened. And then they had a history promo for the two of them on this week's NXT. And I fucking love Tyler Breeze now. And I can't wait for this TakeOver match.
And apparently he's permanently at NXT now.
Yes, good.
If only Triple H could do that with all of his children.
He just puts a little fence around Johnny and the Undisputed Era. Puts a sign, old men stay away.
Io Shirai runs on Shayna Baszler. Okay, cool. Hopefully,
she's been ambushing her a lot. They're going to have a match at TakeOver. Hopefully she becomes women's champion and we finally see the end of Shayna Baszler.
Yep. Drew Gulak versus Kushida. Is Kushida.
Yeah, well, there's been a whole thing with Gulak where his whole stable on 205 has been falling apart, and so he's kind of shown up at NXT watching Kushida. Like, he'll literally just do his entrance, come out at the top on the stage, and during Kushida matches, and they'll be like, what the fuck, is he gonna come in and interrupt? And then he'll just stand there and be like, no, continue. And so the match goes on, and it just will occasionally cut back to him going like, maybe I should make Kushida the next, like, secretary guy for me. And then him and Kushida had a match this week, and he got the crap kicked out of him, and Kushida was like, I ain't about that. And it was pretty good little storyline.
Hopefully Drew Gulak's just in NXT now because he's too good not to be noticed.
Yeah, I like that he keeps showing up there. I don't know if I want him to permanently be in NXT, but it's kind of like Doctor Strange showing up in other people's movies in the MCU. It's like, you're never, like, super into the Doctor Strange movie, but whenever he's in another movie, you're like, hey, it's Doctor Strange!
All right. Now we've gotten through the bullshit. We've ate our veggies.
Time for some chocolate cake!
AEW signed on a bunch of people. Brandon Cutler, Coach Jerry Lynn, Rick Knox, and Earl Hebner. Hopefully he won't sell bootleg shirts out in the parking lot.
I love that they're making a big deal out of signing referees. I love that, like, I am fully with Jim Ross on the frickin' Double or Nothing commentary. I'm like, we could talk about referees, then we could say their names now. Referees are fucking people again. We're referees, yeah!
Because here's the thing, the referees actually did interesting things in the matches, like the fucking best friends match.
Mm-hmm.
When he was just getting really sassy about, like, you got a tag. And they did the tag, and it's like, there! You like that? And it's like, yes! Thank you! And it's like, that's what I want. The ref
is not just a nameless person standing in the background of the match.
But it's just great. They're signing a bunch of people. Hold on. Yeah, you did bring it up later on, so I won't talk about it now. But Chris Jericho in the final episode of Road to Double or Nothing invades Cody's office and basically goes like, "You fucker."
And Cody's like, why are you being such a bitch? What is this about? And he goes, your dad promised me a big push. I never got my big push. I want my big push. And Cody pushes him out of the office.
And he's also like, I want to thank you. And Cody's just like, thank you. Is that all? Thank you. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being part of this. Are you happy? And it's like, no, I want to thank you from everybody. And it's like, so good.
This made me so hungry. Like, let's just fucking stop batting around and being bashful about Double Nothing. Jericho is getting a title match at All Out for their championship,
which looks gorgeous.
Honestly, I hope he loses so he can have a feud with Cody, because this made me hungry for a proper feud between him and Cody.
Oh yeah, and plus Hangman Page with that belt will just look choice.
Yes,
full belt challenge.
Yeah, that's what they should do. Instead of him having an open challenge on the weekly TV show, he has the full belt challenge.
Because you know what I'm referencing, right?
Yeah, he's the Full Gear thing.
Yeah. But AEW has officially confirmed that they have a TV deal with the one, the only TNT.
It's Dynamite.
Former home of WCW.
Monday Night Wars Round 2, baby!
We need a better name than Monday Night Wars 2. Because it's not on Mondays. Because by the time AEW is going to be on TV, it's going to be Monday Raw, Tuesday AEW. Because I am going to be heartbroken if they do not call their show Tuesday Night Dynamite. I will be heartbroken. And Friday will be SmackDown.
Yeah. And then Wednesday NXT.
Yeah. So it's going to be more of like the weekly ratings. And it's like, I don't know. Well, the people will figure out a name.
The whole context of the Monday Night Wars was back before DVRs or the internet. So you had to pick a show because they were on the same night at the same time. But now you can literally watch as much wrestling as you want at your leisure. Ratings kind of don't matter anymore, except when USA yells at Vince.
The Focus Wars.
Yes. That's a pretty good one.
People will figure it out. The best name will come to the top.
Yeah.
But it's exciting. If it's going to be on Tuesday nights, it's going to be probably coming after NBA Talk, which is a popular show on there. There's already a sizable population for sports on that network because of the NBA, so that's probably good. AEW was already getting promoted on NBA games.
Yeah. And fucking like TNT is already a more well-known channel than USA, because USA is only really known to people who are really into reality shows or people who are into wrestling because WWE.
Or a very
TNT is a channel.
Or a very specific type of network television, like Royal Pains, Psych.
Yeah, it's people who are into like niche shit. But TNT is a channel people click on all the time because TNT airs basketball and it airs like movies from 5 years ago.
And some dramas. They have some of their own independent dramas.
Yeah. So like for channel flipping, TNT is a big network.
Oh yeah. But also, it's just beautiful that Turner Broadcasting is getting back in the wrestling game.
Mm-hmm. Especially because at the beginning of its like hype and build, WCW was mainly being run by Dusty, and now his son is bringing wrestling back to that channel.
His son is bringing back the attention to wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I hope it's Sons. I hope Dustin has some things to do, and he's not just there to be like, I'm the old legend. I want him to be giving advice. I want him to be backstage.
Oh yeah,
he's
definitely going to get like backstage leadership roles. I doubt he'll do much more after their tag match at Fight for the Fallen, but I hope we still see him from time to time. Like, have him be a John Laurinaitis or something, but not shit. Have him just show up every once in a while as one of Cody's wingmen.
You know what I wouldn't mind? One match after that tag match?
What?
Dustin Rhodes versus Sonny Kiss.
Ooh.
Like Dustin himself has said Sonny Kiss is like really good. Like he saw Sonny Kiss and was like, fuck, this dude knows his shit. Especially with the Goldust gimmick and all that, like he knows.
Yeah.
SCU versus OWE. They had a little preview match.
Technically, the first AEW match happened in China, and it was a solid little match. A lot of this was my first time really watching SCU work, and they really impressed me.
They're so fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't really watch that because I just saw it and I think I put it in my playlist and I hadn't gotten to it yet.
Okay, well, it's a good match.
Live by the playlist, die by the playlist. But then we had the lone bit of goofy shit with Pac versus Page. Have you heard all the story about why why the whole thing with Pac may have happened?
Yeah, and it's one of the main reasons pre-Double or Nothing that I grew a huge amount of respect for AEW just as a company, because the thing was, Pac and Page were going to be like the semi-main event of Double or Nothing, but Pac didn't want to lose because he's a champion right for another company right now, and he wants to be really strong as that champion, and they weren't exactly happy with a no DQ finish. Neither party was really. So they just said, okay, creative differences, but we still want this match to happen. So let's, even though we're not exactly happy with it, let's settle on the no DQ thing. The DQ finish. I don't know why I kept saying no DQ finish. And let's have it happen at this indie promotion as a cool surprise for some fans. And then we'll do something else with Adam. Which,
yeah.
Holy friggin' crap, is it refreshing to see a big name company do something like that.
I think there's a little bit more to the story because I don't think it was just Pac. I think because from what I've heard, the plan was Pac was going to win over Page, and that would lead into a match with Kenny Omega where he will lose. But Dragon Gate didn't want their champion to lose in a different promotion, and Dragon Gate plans on having the belt on Pac for a long time.
Okay.
So it was less, this match is no good, and more the general direction it feels like it's going to be in a bad way. So same thing, just extra steps.
Okay.
But sad that it didn't happen. Something cool did happen in its place. We'll get to that in just a second. But yeah, hopefully Pac comes into AEW sooner rather than later.
Yeah, because, again, a lot of this stuff was my first time actually seeing these people work, and Pac and Page both really impressed me in that match. It wasn't exactly my kind of match, but it was a really well done match.
Have you looked on the AEW website?
I haven't gone to the AEW website yet. What's it like?
It's solid. It's not. It's solid. It's about as good as WWE's, just not as many shit. Because they're not going so hard on, look at everything we do. But looking on the roster page, if they have like a very specific side nickname, they put it on there. Like it says Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare.
Nice.
Like, and if they're part of a named tag team, it has their name tag team underneath it. So you have Chuck T, the Best Friends, Matt Jackson, the Young Bucks. It's neat.
That's cool.
It's with Pac. It says Pac, bastard. It's so good.
That's like how on G.I. Joe figures, it'll say their name and then underneath it some kind of like dumb military name, like what's his name? Televiper, telecommunications combat specialist.
Pac, bastard.
Yes.
So good. But now we're getting into the meaty stuff. Before the bell, AEW had a pre-show, and I was watching it. I was trying to watch it on their YouTube channel, and it didn't come on until like the last 5 minutes of the Battle Royale.
That's not what Before the Bell was.
Oh shit, no, that's the documentary.
You're thinking of The Buy-In. Before the Bell is a documentary, a full-length, hour-long documentary TV special that ITV, the British, or technically just general European broadcasting network for AEW, made. Just up and fucking made to introduce their viewers to AEW. And it's probably the best recap of the story of this company becoming a thing we're ever gonna get, and also includes some damn good build for AEW for Double or Nothing matches. Like just that whole last 15 minutes where it's showing Kenny and Chris training, and you see Chris come up with the Judas effect, and you see Kenny just at this cabin in the middle of nowhere wearing a fucking Bane mask lifting logs as his training. That made me go from like, oh yeah, Kenny Omega, he's that indie goober everybody loves who's really into video games or whatever, to Kenny Omega's a fucking badass.
I hadn't watched it because I put it in the playlist and I hadn't gotten to it yet.
This is good.
Man. I bet dollars to donuts that mask is actually from an anime.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, it seemed like I called it a Bane mask just because it has that general shape. It's like a legit piece of workout equipment that he's breathing through, and I'm guessing is like giving him more oxygen.
I think it would be restrictive in oxygen. I think it's probably restrictive in oxygen because that's the thing a lot of athletes do is train in higher altitudes. Because if you train with higher altitudes with lower oxygen, your body gets used to it. So when you're at a lower altitude, your body gets more oxygen and it's going like, shit, we can do more shit. It's like training. It's like having weights when you're doing a run, weights on around your ankles when you're doing a run. So when you take them off, you can run faster.
I was going to say, because he was also wearing a weighted vest.
Goddamn, he's a fucking anime character.
He is. We'll talk more about that when we get to his match, because I have a thing to say about.
The only bad thing about this show is that fucking coat.
I wanted to throttle him when I saw. Okay, let's just talk about this now. For the Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega match, Kenny chose to wear the Sword Art on Kirito's jacket from the first season of Sword Art Online as his ring gear, and I wanted to throttle the man. I was like, "You were so close to greatness. Why?"
Should have went as the other black swordsman from Berserk.
Oh my god, if he had come out with like a gut sword on his back, I would have been like, this is the best guy.
His new theme's good. It's a nice mix of everything he's done before.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that. So, now that we're actually talking about the wrestling and not my dumbass. First thing on the card, the 21-man casino battle royale. Slightly different to a battle royale. It's right in the middle between a battle royale and the Royal Rumble.
And, it's a really great concept. I don't feel like they executed it super well because a lot of the early stuff was just two guys doing a thing and everybody else sitting in the corner waiting for more people to come out. But I feel like they could build on it and improve it at future shows. And the back half of it was really good. Once you got the ring pretty filled up, there was some good shit going on. Like Jimmy Havoc stapling a cigarette to
Joey Janela.
Yeah, Joey Janela's face, and then him fucking attacking, was it Road or Billy Gunn? He was attacking Billy Gunn with the staple gun, and he threw him out of the ring with it.
Yeah, fucking Sonny Kiss's ass spot with Tommy Dreamer.
Yes, and then what's his face? The guy you love doing those kicks, and Excalibur.
The most devastating kicks you will ever see in a wrestling match. I don't know how Tommy Dreamer is still walking.
Yes.
It is frightening. It is horrific. It is not something you should ever see, but
and then Adam Page coming out as the Joker, like Thor at the end of Infinity War, was so great.
And they even pulled like the WWE spot where like the sneaky heel hid the entire match and comes out at the very end when the person who thinks he won is just there. And I
saw some people saying like, "Oh, that I'm so tired of that spot. I can't believe they went there." They made that spot work
because Hangman Page knows the spot and tricked MJF, and it's like yes, and it just immediately put Hangman Page, MJF, just like they're golden.
It put both those guys over really well.
It definitely feels like that. I don't want to make grand comparisons, but it makes me feel like, oh, this is going to be their Ricky Steamboat, Ric Flair.
Yeah,
that's the dynamic they want to go for: the shitty dude and the good heel and the good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the dynamic. It's not they're not going to replicate the in-ring ability or anything like that. It's the dynamic.
Definitely.
And I can't wait to see more Orange Cassidy, mainly because he's a comedy wrestler whose whole comedy shtick isn't making fun of himself. It makes him cooler.
Mm-hmm.
Because, for those who don't know, because I joked earlier, Orange Cassidy's whole gimmick is he's a wrestler who doesn't want to wrestle.
Oh, okay.
That's his gimmick.
That's great.
He does not care. So half the matches he does, his hands are in his pockets.
That's fucking great. I love that.
Put
this guy in the main event.
Like, I've seen him do an arm drag with his hands in his pockets. This man did a kip up with his hands in his pockets.
Oh, there's a bright future for this young lad.
Okay, imagine half the shit most people can do in a wrestling match. Now imagine doing that with both hands tied behind your back.
Oof, oof. This guy could seriously rival Ricochet for incredible acrobatics.
Yes, but here's the thing. It's a comedy shtick. It's meant to be funny. It's like, oh, dude, this is hilarious. He's not one to really fight, so he's just giving half-assed kicks. Mm-hmm. Right?
You know what that means? In a couple of years, they're going to have to do the story where somebody finally makes him care and get pissed off, and it's going to be the most awesome thing ever.
Like, it's going to be good. It's like, I can just see it in my head. I don't know who it's against, but he just does one thing, and Orange Cassidy always wears sunglasses. Even while fighting, he always wears sunglasses. And he goes
like, "You fool, I've only been using 10% of my power," and takes the glasses off, and he's got laser eyes.
He just takes his hand out of his pocket very slowly, takes off the sunglasses, and the guy is selling it like, what the fuck have I done? And Orange Cassidy slowly walks to the edge of the ring, gets out, slowly walk, jog, sprint at the guy. I can just see it now. So, but like Orange Cassidy, top dude right now. He is just so good, so good. Luchasaurus was also great.
Yeah, Luchasaurus coming out of nowhere and being a total cool boy.
Like, and his look is great. His gimmick's great. He's like, honestly, if the only thing I can understand is people are saying like, oh, his name's a little goofy, and I was thinking like, yeah, it is kind of goofy, but it makes sense for the character. I thought of a rename that he could go with.
What?
Lucha Rex.
Yeah.
It still evokes
that's like the harder heel name he goes with after he splits up with Jungle Boy, because they're still a tag team technically.
That's going to be so great. It's going to be so good.
Oh, they've got to have a match with the Young Bucks. I've got to see that.
Not even just the Young Bucks. The Best Friends. Super Smash Brothers. But if he goes by Lucha Rex, think about it. It still evokes the dinosaur stuff, but Rex means king. He's the Lucha King.
Yes. And then Rey Mysterio comes in like, "Excuse you, motherfucker. I'm the king.
I'm the king of mysteries."
He can't do his like all-purpose lucha thing from WWE, so he comes out as the Riddler.
But second match on the pre-show, Kip Sabian versus Sammy Guevara. People were cold for this. They weren't at the end.
I didn't particularly care about this, but like, yeah, it was a good match. It was a darn good match.
It was a solid match and a solid showcase for these two guys, which I can definitely see them using a lot.
Mm-hmm. And then we ended on a big extended Being the Elite intro.
Be Elite. Be
the Elite.
That's the one thing that's going to be sad.
Out of the bar with Pharaoh and fucking Kenny doing the meme.
Yeah.
And then the Young Bucks fucking super kicking that one backstage guy saying we don't need credentials.
It's gonna be a sad day when the main show starts happening and they can't do Being the Elite all the time. Mm-hmm. And I definitely don't want Being the Elite to be how they do backstage segments.
Yeah.
I can see some of the influence in there with people who were part of Being the Elite, But
It
I don't
should
want
be a
that for everybody.
similar feel, but like just don't make that show as a segment on AEW Weekly TV.
No, but like I can definitely see backstage segments with the Young Bucks being similar to being the Elite, SCU being similar to the Elite. Maybe not Kenny Omega, maybe not Cody Rhodes, just because their character while wrestling is different than their character while being the Elite.
Mm-hmm.
It's different enough and all that kind of stuff. But
I think they're going to have to find a half point for both those guys.
Yeah, it's like having Batman in the Justice League versus having Batman in solos.
Yeah.
But the first match of the proper card, SoCal Uncensored, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, and Scorpio Sky defeat the Strong Hearts, Seema, T-Hawk, and El Lindaman. And first off,
what a great freaking tag match.
Oh yeah, we have Japanese fucking Tyler Bates.
Mm.
That's one thing. JR was pretty good for his commentary most of the show. There were a few hiccups every once in a while, and this match had a ton of them where
it was clear he was still getting settled in his role.
Yeah, but the biggest thing is this team is a Japanese team. They're all Japanese citizens. They just wrestle at OWE a lot. Like it's like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are Canadian. They just wrestle in an American company. But JR kept calling them Chinese, which he was talking about the company, and it makes sense. So it's not bad on JR's part. It's just like it's a hiccup. It's not the end of the world. Also, the announced team for this is fucking great. JR, Excalibur, and I can't remember the other guy's name.
I would say the announced team is pretty good on the whole. JR does a good job as always. Like you said, got some hiccups. Excalibur is really great. Was surprised with how much I loved him. I was like, well, when he first came up during the pre-show, I was like, why is this guy wearing a lucha mask if he's on the announced team? That's kind of weird. But then by the end of the buy-in, I was like, okay, this guy's pretty cool. He's like one of the better announcers I've seen in a while. And then the third guy was kind of just there so they could have a free-man announced team. I don't feel like he ever said anything worthwhile.
He added every once in a while, but I definitely feel like he never detracted, which is a good thing. And I think Excalibur used to wrestle, and he also does commentary, but he keeps character. Which was fun for me because whenever I was listening to the commentary, I imagined Excalibur in his mask, and it was just like, yeah, it's fun. This is nice. But back to SoCal Uncensored, Strong Hearts. Fucking flippy match, hard match. And
yeah, it's like if that match they actually had in China was them at level 10, this is them at level 25.
Yeah. Like I saw people after this match going like, why hasn't Scorpio Sky done more things? Like, why isn't he bigger?
Yeah.
Because he was like a fucking workhorse in this match. And this is a match with like 4 like long-time veterans because Seema's just been in the game for forever in Japan, apparently.
Yeah.
I wish we could have seen a little bit more of the Strong Hearts personality, but like I got enough of it that I was like, okay, cool. Japanese Tyler Bates just does a lot of suplexes and he's awesome.
Also, seeing a crowd join into the worst town I've ever been in thing was so amazingly cathartic after seeing them try and get it over on being the Elite for a year.
It is the perfect like, this bit of wrestling is over. We can never do this again in a serious manner.
Yeah.
Like, you can never take "this town sucks" seriously ever again. Like, you just can't. But such a good match, and really set a pace and a precedent for the tag matches going forward. Especially because they changed one of the major rules of tag team wrestling.
Want to remind me what that was?
Okay, when you do a tag, traditionally you have 5 seconds to both be in the ring.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You have a count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that whole thing.
Okay.
They changed
that's
it.
Never been explained on WWE commentary as long as I've been watching.
In AEW, it's a 10 count. So tag, you have a count to 10 up to the referee's discretion. Honestly, I wish the referees used this discretion a little bit more because it just kind of felt superfluous and it kind of became a lot of tornado tags going on.
But I do like that they are actually giving the referees discretion on things now. Like a referee can decide, I'm not going to throw this match just because you're outside the ring.
If we're like 15 seconds, like, and it's a very Japanese feeling because New Japan does that a lot. They give a lot of carte blanche to the refs, especially Red Shoes. But yeah, this match was fucking great. It set a precedent for the tag matches. It got the crowd hot. And then we have the next match in the card, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, versus Nyla Rose, Kylie Ray, and a surprise entrance to make this a fatal 4-way. And the first surprise of the night.
Awesome goddamn Kong.
Oh my god.
I lost it at this because, like, there was a time when Becky was first getting really hot and starting the man thing. I was like, oh, I fucking love women's wrestling. Somebody recommend me other women's wrestling shit to watch. And people sent me her rivalry with, I forget who it is, but she had the thing that really started women's wrestling. Yes, the thing that really started women's wrestling being a big deal was her and Gail Kim. Somebody sent me a playlist for that, and I watched the whole thing in like 2 days. It was so fucking good.
Like, I just know Awesome Kong from Reputation. I haven't seen much of her, but like, I didn't pick it up because Brandy Rhodes introduced her and said, I knew this match was going to be great, but I wanted
a WrestleMania Hardy spot on us.
But I wanted this match to be awesome.
And so you're like, what the fuck? Is The Miz coming out?
But she just came out and was like, she didn't do much in the match, but I think that's partially because she still has a bunch of ring rust because she hasn't wrestled in forever because of the mixture of having a family and injury and doing the glow show.
She's pretty much full on an actress now. She didn't get signed. So from my understanding, this was more a cameo than anything.
I hope she comes back to kind of be the legacy wrestler putting over the new talent. Not a ton, but like maybe a good feud with Nyla Rose.
That could be cool.
Like a good, like, have you ever seen a Lady Hoss fight?
Not really.
Now imagine a Lady Hoss fight.
Yeah. Also, since they were the ones that were involved in the ending, I feel the need to say, I've been going back and forth on whether I actually liked Britt and Kylie throughout all of Road to Double or Nothing. I'm full on with those two. I like them a whole lot now that we've actually seen a match between them.
Yeah, Kylie Ray's basically better Bailey.
You go full Cody on her there, huh?
Dude, she's the happy optimist, but at least she actually wants to fight.
Uh-huh. And I always feel slightly weird talking about women's voices, but like her voice just naturally sounds so much more happy than Bailey ever does.
And Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, actual doctor.
Yep.
And they made a lot of good references and jokes with that, with like, she'll knock your teeth out and give you a good recommendation. Like, that was a good call.
Yeah.
But he said, Britt Baker, Kylie Ray into the match, fun, just kind of back and forth American ladies match. I'm specifying American because we're gonna get to
yeah.
But solid match. Not the best in the card, but I don't think that's what they were aiming for. I think they were just aiming for a good, solid match.
Yep, let's set the tenor and tone for the women's division, and that's pretty good tenor and tone.
Especially with the other women's match. Mm-hmm. Oh man. Next we have another tag team match. The Best Friends, Chuck Taylor versus Trent Beretta, versus Angelico and Jack Evans, which were a Lucha Underground team.
Yeah. I only knew the Best Friends from being the elite build-up they've had to getting this match.
And threatening bodily harm to their families.
Yeah.
Dastardly Chuck T.
But yeah, this was a pretty solid match. I wasn't super impressed by it. I thought the ring gear both teams had was kind of ucky looking, but I did enjoy the match.
I really enjoyed the sudden zoom out when they did the best friend hug.
Yeah, that was great. They're employing the sudden zoom out as like a trademark cut of theirs, at least throughout this show, and I really dig it.
Also, the crane. I love the crane. I want so much more of the crane. Like we'll get to it a little bit later, but the Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho, when Kenny is on the ground and Jericho's just standing up and the crane zooms around them, it's so fucking epic.
You know what a meme one of us should make is? When you watch Double or Nothing after having been stuck with Kevin Dunn's BS for so long, finally, some good fucking cinematography.
They did jump a lot, but I think that was more they were getting used to the production and less they were trying to emulate WWE. Because here's the thing, no shaky cam.
Yeah. And no crash zooms.
No crash zooms, no shaky cam. People were complaining about the cuts, but I didn't notice the cuts as bad. The cuts weren't as bad.
It's just like literally what it was Tony Khan getting used to being a backstage leader. Because he'd never done that. Like, there was Cody did an interview immediately after Double or Nothing, and he said, yeah, during my match, Tony Khan was the only one in there controlling things, and I watched my match back. He did a pretty good job, and he'd never done it before, so he's proven that he can handle that.
Yeah, but this whole show, we're singing that's praises. The production still has kinks to work out. Mm-hmm. Not a ton, but some.
And it's not like, oh god, they're doing this, they're doing that. It's like, they're doing this, that's a little wonky, but it's probably just because they're testing out all their new toys.
Like the Casino Battle Royale. They made a one too many cuts every once in a while. They missed some things. It's not the end of the world. Also, people have mentioned it, and I just want to say, I fucking love the look of this whole thing. The gray ring, the black ring, the gray black ring,
dude, dark atmosphere. That fucking set.
I love the dual entrances.
The tunnels with the constantly going lights. Oh, like some people said that being in the crowd that was distracting, but as somebody watching at home, whenever they cut back to it, it was like, oh, this is so cool.
This may be me reading too much into it, but they had a chandelier, which is vague. Uh-oh. Hi.
Hi. My internet just cut out for like 10 seconds.
Weird.
Should we stop the recording and restart it to be safe?
No, it picks it up. I've dealt with this before.
Okay, I did not know.
Yep.
Anyway, I was reaching for tissues to blow my nose as that happened, and then it happened, and I got scared. So I'm gonna mute while I blow my nose. You say your thing.
But basically, what I was saying is they had a chandelier, and it's Vegas. It makes sense to have a chandelier. But part of me also feels like that was kind of a reference to the fact that a lot of indie promotions have done their shows in ballrooms, which have chandeliers. And it was kind of like hey, look, we're the indie show. We have a chandelier at our set.
Yeah, that's cool. Also, the chips.
Yeah. Oh, the chips. Oh, but we'll get to the chips.
Yes. I don't know why my body suddenly decided to catch a cold at 3 a.m. I don't know what's going on. Sorry.
That's fine. But I will agree with you with Angelica and Jack Evans ring gear. They were in. One of them was in head to toe highlighter onesie.
Black and neon green just does not go together, in my opinion.
I like, at least they matched. I will give them that. They matched. They looked like a tag team as much as you could look at them. And the Best Friends, their ring gear was pretty good. They matched in a good way. Mm-hmm. So it's not the worst, but it definitely feels like once things get going, better ring gear is a necessity.
Yeah, and there's already some better ring gear for other people, but we'll talk about that in a bit.
But into the match, the Best Friends win. They're celebrating. They're in the ring. They're trying to goad the other team into a hug, and they're going like, "No, we'll shake hands. No, we hug it out." And then the lights went black. And then it rose up, and the tag team was in the ring, and nobody knew who the fuck they were.
There was literally a "Who are you?" chant, and I was going in on it.
Here's the thing. That chant actually enhanced it, because who are you? What the fuck are you doing? It adds to the mystique of them. Mm-hmm. It makes... I liked it. It was cool. But they're the Super Smash Brothers.
What a bizarre but great name for a wrestling tag team.
They've been wrestling for a long time. They same circuit that Young Bucks and all of them have been in, PWG, Chikara, all that kind of stuff. Their gimmick used to be a lot more video game based, as you can tell by the name.
Yep.
The big guy is Player One. I think he goes by a different name now. I think it's like Evil One or something like that. But his old ring gear, he used to have a giant NES controller on his pants. And if the other person pressed the pause button, he would stop.
Nice.
And any move you did to him while he was paused, he would not sell until you unpaused him.
That's great.
And then you have the other guy, Dos, I think his name is Player One, Player Two.
Yeah.
I definitely do not think they're going to be called the Super Smash Brothers in AEW, or else Nintendo's going to have a fit.
Probably.
But bunch of masked goons, wrecking shop, and a brilliant moment. They I can't remember what they did. They
have all these minions come out of nowhere and start wrecking people's shit, and then the minions turn into a human throne for the big guy.
And it was so good. And they are intimidating and great. They need new ring gear.
Yep.
The smaller guy, he can get away with it. It looks like a loincloth. It's fun. The other guy, he needs ring gear.
Yes.
He looked like he was wearing his mom's leotard.
Definitely.
But I'm excited for them. They are fascinating, and it's oh shit, we got a big fucking tag team dudes wrecking shop. This is gonna be great. I'm yawning. Okay, next match. Six women tag team match. 3-on-3 action.
Joshi! I love Joshi! It's a good match. I like it.
It was Emi Sakura, Yuki Sakurazaki, Aja Kong versus Hikaru Shida, Rino Abe, and Ryo Mizunami.
Mm-hmm.
Mizunami. I said that wrong.
Two fucking ancient Japanese veterans bringing out their baby girls and going, let's see who has the better apprentices.
Yeah, and everybody was just great. I can't remember who was the one who dressed like Freddie Mercury.
The fucking spot where Emi ran across the ropes because she's a magical girl who can fly.
I fucking love her. I fucking love her ring gear because she just looks like a.
She looks like I Dream of Jeannie.
That yeah.
And great. Fucking just I'm gonna say it right now. Emi Sakurai, she is my daughter, and she must be protected at all costs.
Oh man, all of this is just solid and good. She can't be your daughter. She's your mom.
She's too small. She has to be my daughter.
Emi, Motokawa, ring name Amy Sakura. Guess when she was born?
When?
October 4th, 1976.
Holy crap, she looks amazing for her age.
She is 42.
She looks 14.
She's been wrestling longer than you've been alive.
Good Christ.
She's been wrestling since 1995. Oh my god.
That's amazing.
Oh man. Yuki doesn't have her age, the magical girl. It's just she's just born December 27th. No year. She is the current Tokyo Princess Tag Team Champion.
Hey, good for her.
But this match was so fun. It's hard to describe the difference between like a traditional American women's match and a Joshi match.
It's just a feel. Like, Americans women's wrestling is badass. Joshi wrestling is fun.
Okay, here's what it is. American women's wrestling is Xena Warrior Princess. Hard-hitting, like, solid action. Joshi is like watching Precure.
Yes.
It's faster, it's more intense, it's faster, it's more vibrant. And it does a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like...
And you want to marry all the girls instead of just one of them.
You're gonna have so many waifus.
Dude, I am ready. Like, we talked about this off recording last week. I want Hasbro to get the license to do AEW figures so that I can justify buying retail figures of wrestlers. And I will buy the entire women's division and set them up as a harem on one of my shelves. I don't give a shit.
Oh, one of them's an idol. Riho.
Yeah. She's great too. They're all great.
Yeah.
I love them all.
Guess how old she is?
I don't want to know.
No, this one's better.
Okay.
She's 21.
Oh shit, she's younger than me.
But yeah, solid match. Hikaru Shida, Riho Abe, and Ryo Mizunami won. They defeated Aja Kong, who's like a classic veteran.
Aja Kong is like the original Joshi.
Damn, she's not much older than the other one. She's 48.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like...
It really is that thing of like, Japanese people just age like a light switch. It's just 1 year they look 14 and the next they look 87.
It was two veterans and their young apprentice versus a bunch of youngins. That's this match.
That's great.
It was a great match, and hopefully we get a lot more Joshi. We're definitely going to get a lot more of one of the Joshis. I can't remember which one, because apparently one of them's dating Kenny Omega.
I think Hikaru Shida is signed.
Then that's the one who's dating Kenny Omega.
Yeah, and that makes sense because I in the backstage interviews I watched the Tony Khan one, and he said like, yeah, I had very little to do with the Joshi match. I loved it. I'm glad it happened, but that was basically entirely Kenny and Brandy coming together and saying, "Hey, we want all our friends from Japan to do a thing."
Yeah. But I definitely think people, because they said, "Oh yeah, we've signed Hikaru Shida." And people were going like, "Oh, that's really cool that she's coming to AEW on a more permanent basis." And like people were saying, "Yeah, she's even moving to America, like moving to the West." People were going like, "Okay, that makes a lot more sense because I think there's a rumor that she's dating Kenny Omega." And people were going like, "Why is it a rumor and not confirmed? Why haven't they confirmed this?" They were like, "Joshis are kind of like idols in Japan, and idol culture is bullshit when it comes to women and their relationships."
That might be why she's coming over to AEW so hard, so that they can be more open about their relationship.
And maybe she just wants to get out of the Joshi system, like, for lack of a better way of describing it. And even then, I think Joshi wrestling is really respected and really taken care of over in Japan. It's just
there's a thing with Japanese men and how they treat their favorite female characters and creators, and it's to borrow a phrase from legendary figure President Barack Obama, it's not optimal.
But yeah, I hope people are making comparisons with the Joshi and the cruiserweights. I definitely hope that's going to be the same thing with WCW and their cruiserweights. Joshi's going to be the AEW.
That could be cool.
Actually treat women's wrestling like wrestling instead of just a publicity stunt.
Mm-hmm. That was another thing. That's why I liked Jim Ross for this show. Is like he was just constantly throwing in little jabs at WWE of saying, "Oh, we can do this here. We can do this here. I couldn't do that at my last job." Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Also, I want to commend Jim Ross on this match. He didn't know all the wrestlers. He only really knew Aja Kong. That's the only one he was really familiar with. So you know what he did for this match? He shut up.
Yes.
He only called moves that he thought were cool and Aja Kong. Which for making the best product, that is a good move. And if they're going to do more of it, I guarantee he's probably going to research it more. But I wanted to compliment Jim Ross on just knowing when to not talk. But on to what could be considered the emotional main event. Cody.
Match of the night.
Cody with Brandy Rhodes.
Match of the night.
Versus Dustin Rhodes.
Match of the night!
Good Lord. Okay, first things first. Let's just break it down moment by moment. So we get the intro. Cody's coming out. He is regal. And like, the best way to put it, it's Beast from Beauty and the Beast.
I cannot wait to see that Prince of Wrestling trademark get put to work.
He is in full, like, regal gear, and he's walking out of the entrance, and he looks over, and there is this stone throne with an iron cross and skulls everywhere.
And it's
like, what would an iron cross and skulls and a throne related to kings have to do with anything wrestling? I wonder. He looks at it and just doesn't give it a second thought. He just looks at it real quick and is like, huh. And he starts walking to the stage. But Brandy goes before him. She lifts up the ring apron and pulls out a sledgehammer.
And you know what she does? She does the fucking Stephanie spot. She holds it close to her, kisses it, and delicately hands it to him.
Cody Rhodes then takes the hammer, goes back up the ramp, and slams it onto the chair. Explosions. It disintegrates. He turns around to the crowd, raises up the sledgehammer, and walks back to the ring.
Oh my, I was already in love with this match before it started. And you know, there's some people who have said like, I wasn't entirely comfortable with that. They shouldn't be taking such direct shots at WWE. They should be trying to do their own thing. Motherfucker, do you know Cody's character right now? Were you listening to the theme for him that was playing while this happened? Look at those lyrics and tell me that wasn't a perfect fit for him in this moment of his career with that song playing. It's one of the most like wonderfully cathartic through a character moments I have ever seen, not just in wrestling, but in media in general. Like, because of this, I had to go, because I hadn't heard it before, I had to go and look up Cody's theme song on YouTube, and I listened to it 5 times before I watched the rest of the pay-per-view.
Like, I can understand going like, they need, like, why are they taking pot shots at WWE, the much bigger company? And it's like, yeah, but how many pot shots had they as WWE already taken on AEW?
Piss and company. Like, motherfucker, Triple H started it.
Triple H started it because Triple H knows this is going to be good for business.
Mm-hmm.
And Cody knows this is going to be good for business because he knows Triple H is going to be the main dog soon, hopefully.
Yeah. It's him versus Triple H. It's not Tony Khan versus Vince McMahon.
No, Tony Khan, and here's the thing, every interview I've seen with Tony Khan, he basically seems like, no, I'm just giving the money to make what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a good wrestling show.
You know what he is? He's good guy Digibro. He's doing the thing Digibro always says he wants to do with anime creators. He says he wants to get rich making videos about anime so that he can pay anime creators to make the anime he wants.
Like, and he looks like Rick Moranis for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's solid. Like, I can also understand people saying like, I like the intention, but the way they did it was kind of like hokey. It's like, yeah, but I definitely feel like this is the last hokey thing Cody would ever want to do. It's like he is destroying the last vestiges of WWE in him.
Like that's sort of the point of this whole match is beating it into your skull. The Attitude Era is dead and it's never coming back. And even though we like him now because he's NXT Daddy, Triple H is a relic of the Attitude Era.
Yeah. And it is very much like, no matter what, this whole match is a pointed finger at WWE, basically saying, look, this is what you used to be.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? And like Cody said in his promo, when something is longing for death, sometimes you gotta pull from the hip and shoot.
And you know, here another thing he said was in his interview for Before the Bell, he said, my biggest fear in life was that my dad would die before he could see me win the world title. And when that fear came true, I felt like I had nothing left to lose, nothing left to prove. I just had to go out on my own and be me, and that's why I asked for my release.
It's such a shame. But I love Dustin and Cody's, whenever anybody asked about, do you think your dad would have been proud? They both went, Dad saw the match. He had the best spot in the house.
Mm-hmm. Like, Dustin was constantly pointing up because even though they don't make a big deal out of it, those are good Christian boys. They believe in heaven. They think their dad's still around. And even though I don't believe in that, I respect their belief. And I think they used it very well in telling this story.
Dusty's still alive in all of our hearts.
Mm-hmm.
As long as we struggle, we'll always be the son of a plumber.
There's always an American dream in each and every one of us.
But just like there's an American dream, there's an American nightmare, and he was gunning for his older brother, Dustin Rhodes, and he enters and he looks great. He has a dad bod, but it's a good dad bod.
Mm-hmm.
And the best way I can describe it is this is Dustin Rhodes, but Dustin Rhodes at the end of his line right now has too much Goldust in him to let it go. He still has that face paint. He still has the onesie.
Well, he's got half face paint. He's wearing the onesie, but it's not a Goldust onesie. It's like a cross between Venom and Carnage, kind of freaky demon onesie. And
with a little bit of a Western influence.
Mm-hmm. And then half his face is face painted to look like a demon, and the other half is just him. Because he's known just as much for being Dustin Rhodes, the Natural, as he is for being Goldust.
And like, it's a perfect like how Jericho has multiple Jerichos.
Mm-hmm. This is Jericho into the Jericho-verse.
This is the perfect next step for Dustin Rhodes. Mm-hmm. It still has Goldust in him. Because there was a spot in this match when Cody's up on the ropes. He has one leg over, and Dustin sees it. He looks through the crowd, and he puts the other leg over, and he's about to go for a Shattered Dreams. Because despite how much of a good country boy he is, he knows a good shot to the nuts is going to hurt.
Yep.
But this match is so good. And fucking, here's the best thing. They show off the tone of AEW because Dustin Rhodes, he bladed.
I don't think that was a blade job. I think he legitimately ran at that turnbuckle really hard and busted his head open.
That was too clean to be a bust.
Okay.
I think because here's the thing: there was a moment they caught him. He's lying on the ground. His hands are covering his head. That's where I think he bladed.
Oh, okay.
Like there was a moment that it looks like, oh yeah, this is where he'd be blading, and then right after that is when he started bleeding,
like
profusely.
A stuck freaking pig.
Oh god! Like I was worried there for a minute. He was bleeding
and
so much.
Earl Hebner was calling this match, and fucking JR kept going like, isn't he gonna throw it out because of the blood? Where are his gloves? Why isn't Hebner putting on gloves?
That's one thing I do wish AEW will do. I think the gloves adds a sense of realism to it and makes it feel more like sudden. Because they always have gloves in their pockets, and I like the look of there's blood, and they have gloves, and it just looks like clinical. It makes the referees look above the situation. I like it. It's one of the few aesthetic things I really appreciate in WWE. It's the black gloves. But oh boy, like so much.
Cody got spanked.
Cody got spanked by his older brother.
I never thought I would see a spanking spot and go crazy for it.
It would because there's so much that can be done. By the end of this match, Cody's hair was pink.
You know what would have been amazing? If he went back to his hotel room after the match and dyed his hair pink. It was just like, it's permanently that way now. I don't know what he's got in his blood, but
he's got Goldust magic.
Yeah.
Also, Brandy tried to do a couple distraction spots.
And she got thrown the fuck out.
And she was screaming her head off at the ramp. And who comes out but the old friend of Dusty Rhodes, the family friend, the uncle, DDP.
Yeah, and he just carries her like a screaming schoolgirl.
Like, oh man, I'm so happy DDP's doing wrestling. I'm so happy he's involved with this. Because, like, here's the thing. DDP's my favorite wrestler I have never watched wrestle.
Yeah, he's a good old boy.
Especially because you've heard the stories. Like, he was a manager before he was a wrestler. But he was too tall, so no wrestler wanted to work with him because he made them look small. So at, like, age 32 or something, he just went, fuck it, I'll be a wrestler.
That's great.
Like, he started wrestling way late. And, like, that's I have mad respect for that. But this is just so fucking hard. There was so much blood. Cody slipped.
Oh.
Like, the ring was covered corner to corner. Like, there was not an ounce of ring left that did not have blood. It was madness.
It was freaking ECW level shit.
Like, Dustin had a crimson mask 80% of the time for the rest of the match.
Mm-hmm.
And the red face paint did not help.
Yep.
Oh, man. But Cody won. He killed the Attitude Era. We are in a new era. We have a paradigm shift.
Mm-hmm.
We're not reading history textbooks. We're writing them.
Yep.
But we had a little promo at the end of it with Cody heartfelt saying, you know what? It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're still my brother. And you know what? I need a tag team partner.
Shades of one of my favorite Dusty promos ever in WCW when Dustin was the Natural and Dusty was doing his legacy character shtick. There was a thing where Dustin needed a partner for something, and Dusty goes, I don't want you to look for another partner. I don't want you to ask for another partner. I don't want you to beg for another partner. All I want you to do is to let this old bent up, out of shape, spindly-legged old man help you out one last time. And I don't need you to say yes. I don't need you to sign a contract. All I need from you to seal the deal is just a hug and a kiss to bring it together. And then they just hug, and it's one of the greatest moments ever.
And like Cody had a beautiful like similarity. It's like, I don't need a tag team partner. And his voice cracks and he just goes, I just need my brother.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, ooh.
I fucking cried like a baby.
So like that's
like I've always been like, yeah, Dusty's one of my favorites of all time. And his kids are pretty cool too. Now I'm like, I just fucking love the Rhodes family in general. They're all the best boys.
They are all good boys. They're all dedicated boys. They love professional wrestling.
Like I don't usually buy merch because of how much I like the match. I went out and bought a Cody shirt because of this match. It hasn't arrived yet, but it's in the mail from Pro Wrestling Tees.
You can really tell how much someone loves wrestling and how good they make their wrestling be. Mm-hmm. And I fucking hate WWE because he can't be Cody Rhodes.
No, he's Cody.
He has to be Cody because of legal reasons. And it sucks.
Mm-hmm. But it also means his theme song can be that much more badass because it said, you took my dream, but you can't take my name.
Yeah, at least he has his wife come out with him, so it's Cody with Brandy Rhodes.
Mm-hmm. I think that's how he gets away with it, because it's like, well, when you introduce a couple, you just say, this is so-and-so and so-and-so, and then last name.
Yep. Similar to how Matt Hardy could get away with Brother Nero.
Yeah.
That's his brother's name, it's Nero. So this is my brother, Nero. But after this beautiful, heartfelt, wonderful, tone-shaping match with Cody and Dustin, we had the reveal of the AEW Heavyweight Championship.
That belt looks like it could hurt you if you hold it in the wrong place.
But it was presented by none other than the absolute legend himself. The best there was, the best there'll be, the best there ever was. The best there was, the best there is, the best there ever will be. Bret the Hitman Hart giving one last middle finger, fuck you, to WWE.
Mm-hmm. Like he flat out said, this feels like being in WCW again. It's like, oh, Bret.
Man.
Bret, you're going to make me cry. And then MJF... Go ahead, talking about mark out over that belt.
That belt just looks so gorgeous. Like the better pictures, you can tell the silver and the gold much better. The only thing I do not like about that belt is the faux distress on the AEW logo.
Yeah, that's a bit meh.
Like I would much rather that be history than design.
I like that other wrestling fans are so into this belt. I think it's cool, but I'm not in love with it. And, like, I learned something over this last month of wrestling. It's that I have the complete opposite opinion about belts from everybody else in the wrestling fandom. And it's literally just because the last thing I got into before I got into wrestling is Kamen Rider. And that's a thing where all the belts are supposed to look like big goofy toys. So when a belt looks like a big goofy toy, I go, hey, that's pretty cool. And then wrestling fans are like, no, it's shit. It needs to fucking... And I'm like, well, actually, I think those designs are a bit overcomplicated. What's wrong with you? I'm sorry.
I think a good belt should look like a prize. It should look like something It should look like something worth $1 million.
Well, that belt definitely has it.
And to just continue the WCW comparisons, we have a modern day Ric Flair, MJF.
Oh my god, this guy, he's been so good on Road to Double or Nothing and being the Elite, and now he's just, he's fucking great at promos.
He's so good on MLW too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, he comes out, he starts running down Bret Hart, and you can see the smile on Bret Hart. Is like, oh man, I missed this shit. Because he could tell this is all coming from the hip on MJF.
Yeah, and that's the thing with MJF, is he's so good at improvising. Like, did you see the Wrestle Talk interview he did where he just randomly started shitting on Luke?
No, I haven't. Oh god, I need to watch that. But like in the past week since Double or Nothing, 2 wrestlers have just been on everybody's tongue on the internet. Orange Cassidy and MJF. It's just like, dear God, like how good AEW was just at being, all right, let's just let our wrestlers be wrestlers and do their thing. And how over that got them.
Mm-hmm.
Like imagine just for a brief second how
imagine if Matt Hardy actually got to be the multifarious Matt Hardy on television.
Like
he could be Bray Wyatt levels of popular right now.
Oh fuck yeah! But like imagine for a brief second how WWE would treat Orange Cassidy. Imagine MJF just being a lackey to the Miz. And here's the thing, the Miz is great. I love the Miz. MJF is going to go down as a better Miz.
Yeah.
Out of this character archetype, it's going to be Ric Flair, MJF, the Miz.
Mm-hmm. And then below them is Ted DiBiase.
And below that is Bobby Roode.
Yeah.
WWE Bobby Roode. Because above Ted DiBiase is TNA Bobby Roode.
Yeah!
And above that, right above that is NXT Bobby Roode.
Yeah!
Oh, man. But, the segment was great. Hangman Page came out. He did some stuff. Jimmy Havoc put himself into the main event scene. It's like, I want that belt on Jimmy Havoc. Give me that Western belt on a British goth guy.
Yeah.
Who was the other guy? There was a fourth guy who came out.
I want to say it was Luchasaurus, but I think that's wrong.
Yeah, it's definitely not Luchasaurus. It was...
No, it was Jungle Boy.
Oh, it was Jungle Boy. Oh, man. That will be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Like you
and
can.
I love how they shouted at his dad too, who just recently passed.
Mm-hmm. And you can tell this was them being like, "All right, we're establishing our main event scene tonight with the matches and the qualifying for the first title match. But then here's all our mid-card guys. Look at our cool mid-card guys."
But also, these guys are also going to be in the main event contention.
Mm-hmm. They're the upper mid-carders, I should say.
These are our Seth Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, I hate saying that Seth Rollins is an upper mid-card, but it's true. Yeah. These are our Finn Balor's. I hate to say that too.
But it's true.
But these are the guys who are going to be going for the midweight belt and the heavyweight belt at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Imagine that belt on Jungle Boy. Just imagine that belt on any of them. It'll look so good. They all look like... It all feels like they could go for the belt and win it.
Yeah.
Not like Dolph Ziggler going for the heavyweight belt.
Oh, God, don't remind me.
Oh, yeah. We didn't mention Dolph Ziggler's fucking going for Kofi's belt. I mean, it makes sense. They have a history.
But, like, at least Kofi's having fun in Ghana right now.
Yeah, man. Too bad Ghana's not fucking booking his matches.
If Ghana was booking his matches, Kofi would be the face of the company. There would be no one else on the marquees. It would just be Kofi.
Kofi beat Roman Reigns. Kofi beat Stone Cold Steve Austin. Kofi beat The Rock.
Those guys are retired. Kofi v. Batista.
Kofi goes over Triple H clean. Triple H just said, hey, whoa. Hey, I may be putting people over, but not that over.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But we have the next match is a tag team match for the AAA World Tag Team Championship. And I love how the announcer said triple A, whatever he said. Yeah. He said it with a Mexican accent.
There's a damn good a ring announcer for this company. They made him look really goofy in Road to Double or Nothing, But in this show, he came off like a consummate professional badass.
Oh yeah, I love how he wasn't also screaming everything. It was just like Cody, like it was very talky.
Yeah. And when he stretched things out, he kind of like put a little growl into it too, which was
but
awesome.
It wasn't a yell; it was a growl. It was nice.
Mm-hmm.
But
gave everything that big fight feel.
But this, we had brothers versus brothers, the Lucha Bros versus the Young Bucks.
In fucking Elvis gear. I marked out so hard for that because I have the same birthday as Elvis, so by accident of fate, I've become like a very casual but very knowledgeable Elvis fan over the years.
I was so upset that one of their callers was just misaligned, and it just,
Yeah, that was a bit annoying.
I wanted to go through the screen and like fix it for him. Scare the fuck out of him. What the fuck? Don't worry, I'm a friend. But like also both the Lucha Bros were kind of Pentagon up with the black and white skull style. It's just like, ooh, crisp.
Yeah, see, I knew nothing about the Lucha Bros going into this except that they were the opponents for the Young Bucks, and the Young Bucks had sort of had a history with them. They impressed me a whole lot in this.
Miedo Ferro. No fear. Man, they're so good on MLW. Because I've seen them a couple times
on MLW now.
Because I've seen them a couple times on MLW. Right now, it feels like MLW is AEW's NXT. Goddamn, that was a lot of letters. That was a dumb amount of letters. But this match was really, really fucking good, and this was the match that made me want to see a more definitive version of the 10 count tag rule, because it just turned into chaos, and like it was good. It was great. I would just liked a little bit more structure.
Like, and here's the thing. I've never been a tag team wrestling guy because of the way it's treated in WWE. I've liked tag teams before. This didn't make me a tag team wrestling guy, but this made me go, oh, now I understand what everybody's talking about when they say they want tag team wrestling to be great again. I get it.
And like, this is now probably one of the most stacked tag teams divisions in all of wrestling. You have the Lucha Brothers, the Best Friends, the Young Bucks, Super Smash Brothers, the Rhodes,
Private Party. All they need to do is rescue the Revival.
It's not fuck the Revival anymore. It's free the Revival.
Yes. Oh my god, we gotta get the Young Bucks to see that and put it over.
They already know that.
Okay. I thought you just came up with that.
It's free the Revival. So, like, oh man. They're never gonna leave WWE, but imagine fucking the Usos in this scene.
This just made me want to see like a fatal 4-way between the Lucha Brothers, the Young Bucks, the Hardys, and the Usos.
Ooh. Oh man. Know what, if Cody and Dustin do a little bit more tag team, if they like be like an official tag team for a bit, you know what their name should be?
What?
The Roads to Nowhere.
Oh.
Such a dumb, but like, oh, that's so good. But like, this match was so fucking good. Fucking Pentagon doing a goddamn Canadian destroyer on the goddamn apron. Oh.
Yes.
And no one saying that's the hardest part of the ring repeatedly, because we already know. I'm sorry, Michael Cole, you are in hell.
I desperately want to like you, Michael Cole. You have a very good voice for announcing, but you just get given the shittiest stuff.
You are the epitome of hell, because you are a ventriloquist dummy who has a consciousness.
Yep.
But so many good flips, so many good shit. When they were just doing the fucking super kick party, it was like, pop, pop, pop.
Yeah.
And then they win. The Young Bucks won. It's like, Holy
the
shit.
Young Bucks are still the AAA Tag Team Champions. So
I thought
for the
this
foreseeable future, AEW isn't getting a Tag Team Championship.
I definitely feel like because the Young Bucks are going to be on a AAA show in the upcoming months, I definitely feel like they're dropping it there.
That could happen. I could see them dropping it there and then them going like, well, we don't need that belt because here's the AEW Tag Team Championship at All Out.
Here's the thing. I want the decision for the tag team to be a tournament. I want a full-on tournament with all of these guys.
Oh, they could do that as just like the first month of their show.
Oh, yeah. Like every month, the main event is just another leg of the tag team tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit. There's another tag team we forgot.
What?
Jungle Boy Luchasaurus.
Yeah, Boy and his dinosaur.
Dude, you know what? It's Moon Boy and Double Dino.
Yep.
Or Commandi.
You mean Moon Girl?
No, Moon Boy.
Marvel has a character called Moon Boy?
Dude, Moon Boy and Double Dino was a Jack Kirby creation back in the 70s.
I knew about Double Dino. Nobody's ever told me about Moon Boy. I only know Moon Girl from the recent stuff.
Yeah, that's the reboot stuff. The reimagining. Like, we want to use Double Dino, but we don't want the main character to be a monkey.
Oh.
He was like a caveman. That's why he was called Moon Boy.
Okay.
It was like caveman speak.
Cool.
Ooh, cute Moon Boy. Haha. I'm Jack Kirby. I make weird shit now. I made the thing, but now everything's weird.
I killed the old gods. Here's my new gods. Check them out.
Why is Jack Kirby talking like this?
Jack Kirby is more of a funky flashman than Stan Lee.
Hey, I'm Jack Kirby. Look, this is Mr. Look at this guy. He escaped shit.
Cool.
Look at this guy. He's a bug.
Ooh, that's neat.
Look at this guy. At least I'm not weird like Steve Ditko.
Ooh, ah, ooh. He like poses as he says each of those.
This is the dumbest Jack Kirby.
You know what he is? He's like a really laid back Johnny Bravo.
That's our canon for Jack Kirby now. He's Johnny Bravo.
Yes. Jackie Bravo. Are you okay? Jesus. Fuck, I think I just killed Chris.
Oh, God. I'm still recovering from my sickness. I don't cough all the time, but like maybe once or twice a day. But laughing like that just tickled my throat and gave me a coughing fit.
I'd imagine so. Anyways, wrestling.
Oh, God. Oh. We need to remember that. That's canon for your show now.
Yep.
Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega for the opportunity to go for the heavyweight championship.
Oh my God.
Quick, let's get it out of the way again.
Fuck that jacket.
Fuck that jacket. He got rid of it really quick, and I love his tights.
Mm-hmm.
The Omega right on the ass, fucking great.
But
choice.
Chris Jericho doing what I am going to refer to from now on as the Into the Jerichoverse intro. I'm sure he's been using it for a while already, but with Judas as his theme. Oh my, you just got everything you needed to know about his character in like 10 seconds. I loved it.
He's been using it in New Japan. But I'm pretty sure the person who was playing Lionheart was Jungle Boy.
That's great.
But basically, Judas starts playing, and we see a person. No, it was representations of his older themes. They weren't the exact themes, but they were similar.
Yeah.
So first we see Jungle Boy, and then we see The List, and then we see Light Up Jacket with shiny sleeves, and then we see Chris Jericho.
Judas. Y2J.
What? No. Y2 Judas.
Yes.
Just coming down. Badass he is.
He's gotten rid of his dad bod. He's fucking ripped old man now.
He is Uncle Iroh coming out of the prison. Except he's an asshole.
See, he gave me shades of Schwarzenegger. Like, have you seen some of Schwarzenegger's recent films? Dude is still ripped as fuck, but he somehow also got wrinkles. It's one of the most badass looks ever. And there's like 10 men on the face of the planet that can do it.
Oh shit, I did. Okay. I'm scrolling through the Wikipedia page because that's where I got the card. Fuck. I need to watch the fucking Casino Royale Battle Royale because I only watched the last few minutes and clips. Brian Pillman Jr.'s in it. I thought he was exclusive to MLW. That makes me excited.
Yeah, he was good.
But back to Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega. Dear God.
Just like a really damn good refined version of their New Japan matches.
It was extremely good. It was so solid. It was just bop, bop, bop.
Jericho ringing the bell early, grabbing the camera, and then fucking knocking Kenny Omega out to win with the Judas effect. Probably the most vicious and badass finisher I have ever seen.
Oh man, I just love when he picked up the camera and Kenny Omega just threw water at him, and for like the next 5 seconds, there was water on the lens. That is shit you will never see in WWE, and I popped so hard for that. I was just like, yeah, they're filming a show. This isn't like a weird say show that we just happen to be seeing. No, they're filming it. This is being filmed.
It's a real thing that's being filmed.
Oh my god. And then the crane shot later on, it's like, oh. So much good shit. Just be that good shit, yo. It's food. We're actually eating with our eyes.
Finally, some good fucking food.
This match was fucking solid. It was great. It's not as cathartic as Cody versus Dustin, but I would say it's a better wrestled match.
Mm-hmm.
Cody versus Dustin is the better.
I'm more of a story emotional guy. So Cody versus Dustin got a 10 out of 10 from me. This gets a 9 out of 10 from me.
This is the really well done work rate match.
Mm-hmm.
Other than the Lucha Bros versus Young Bucks, that's like.
And I should say every other match on the card was an 8 out of 10 for me.
Like, I don't think there was not a bad match. There was not a meh match. There was not a, oh, that was pretty good. They were all great.
Yeah.
It made you excited to see them again. You wanted to see more matches. You wanted to see the hints at matches. You wanted to see the feuds because
every match had its own feel. Cannot stress that enough. It feels like there is something for everybody here. Like I've said, like I wasn't super into this match, but it did some cool stuff. And then there were matches that I marked out super hard for. That's how a company should be. You shouldn't be catering all to one demographic or trying to just hit the highest common denominator. You should carve out niches within your product.
Here's the thing, like the Best Friends match earlier had a more traditional tag team feel. There were hope spots. They were reaching for their tag team partner to come and save them. It was very traditional. But Young Bucks versus Lucha Bros felt very fresh. It felt like, no, we're not going to do that because that's a classic spot. It has its place, but its place isn't right here, right now. And they just go like, nope, we're going off the wall.
Mm-hmm.
We are doing the kitchen sink. Oh, man. Oh, thing I didn't mention in fucking Cody and Dustin. Cody did a fucking curb stomp.
Yeah.
Like, just full stop, curb stomp. Like, so much shade thrown at WWE. But at the end of the day, Chris Jericho wins and is going to be Adam Page versus Chris Jericho for the heavyweight title.
No, not heavyweight. They've been very clear in interviews. They're not doing
world.
weight classes. It's just the world title.
Okay, so I wonder what their mid-card title is going to be then.
Mm-hmm. But freaking Jericho tries to end the show. I say try because thing. By cutting a pretty decent promo saying like, all right, you motherfuckers, you just got a bunch of amazing matches. You just got an incredible main event.
You just got a new wrestling show that you're excited for.
Thank me. And people start chanting no.
They were booing and everything.
And he's like, oh, shut up, you marks.
Oh, and there was this fucking great moment. He started talking and people started booing him. And he's like, shut up. It's fucking great. And in the middle of that promo, people start looking up in the crowd. Start wondering what's going on. And someone's walking in.
And JR starts screaming.
And then John motherfucking Moxley enters the ring. And
the Mox has arrived.
And here's the thing. In just those brief few seconds in the ring, he looked so free.
Mm-hmm.
His movements felt unrestrained.
Here's the I know you didn't watch this, so I want to offer this perspective. When he came back and they did that documentary, like I can't remember if it was a 24 or a Chronicle of like his recovery in WWE. There's all these segments of him just walking around outside, just kind of pacing back and forth, stomping around, and he seems so rigid and so confined and going like, I just get so frustrated about things, you know. There's just so much crap I gotta deal with, so much of this and that. And he's trying to make it a storyline thing, trying to talk about how hard it is to work with Seth and Roman again after everything, and how close he is to betraying him, and then it ends with him actually betraying them. But then this happens, and his body is just flailing around like an electrical storm, and you can feel it. He is that jail metaphor in his package wasn't just a cheap shot at WWE. He is a free man again. He is alive.
Like, and here's the thing. I don't want to make direct comparisons because Attitude Era is dead. But he never once did the boot setup for the Dirty Deeds in WWE. That feels like, oh, this could be a stunner level move.
Mm-hmm.
This could get over like a Stone Cold Stunner. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to say he's like a Stone Cold Steve Austin. He is John fucking Moxley.
Mm-hmm.
There is
his
no
own
other
beast.
But it gave me airs of the I don't give a fuck. I'ma do me.
Mm-hmm. And it's so incredible seeing the it's kind of debatable between him and Seth, but he is arguably the least notable Shield guy. And he came in and he got the biggest pop of the night at this indie show.
He was WWE's workhorse for years. He was their guy. Oh, we need a match. Hey, Dean, can you do this for us?
Fine.
And now John just is like, I'm a dirty deeds. You, God, that fucking laughing fit earlier.
I'm gonna dirty deeds you. I'm gonna dirty deeds the ref. Oh, you're waking up after that one move? Okay, I'm gonna dirty deeds you. Oh, you won't stay down now? Okay, I'm gonna dirty deeds you however many times it takes to make you stay down, Omega.
And then he did a fucking AA off the chips into not a crash pad. I didn't see any crash pad.
It was just a platform they put there.
Yeah.
And frickin' Bucks went flying everywhere.
Man.
Which we didn't talk about that during the Young Bucks. cool little bit for them to do during their entrance, and nice souvenir for everybody who went to Double or Nothing. I looked on eBay; they're going for $10 a pop.
It is a good pun
Mm-hmm.
because they're young bucks. Get it?
Yep, I get it.
And then Jon Moxley started humping some poker chips.
Yep.
Which really puts into perspective the one quote he said in that documentary is like, "I'm cashing my chips in."
Yeah.
Like there were some people going like, "Is that an AEW joke? Is that like a reference to that?" People were going like, "Nah, this is a common phrase." It's like, no, it was a reference to AEW.
Yep.
And looking back, it is the most. Honestly, it is the most overt subversive thing in WWE, more so than anything Triple H has done to Vince McMahon.
Yep.
Because this one got over Triple H.
So
man.
good.
I bet dollars to donuts Roman and Seth were watching this, just cheering him on. It's like, fuck yeah.
That's a boy!
They're proud of him. There's no doubt in my mind that they're not proud of him.
Yeah.
They are happy for him.
You know what would be the best fucking thing ever? And this is never going to happen in a million years because of legal bullshit. But if Seth and Roman left WWE and then reformed the Shield as like an anti-version of it called something else in AEW and just raked in the cash.
Oh. Imagine Roman getting booked good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and here's something, a little tidbit from something we're going to talk a little bit later. Jon Moxley is still getting royalties from WWE. As long as they make Shield merchandise, he still gets money from them.
Oh my god, that's so fucking great.
Yep.
Oh my god. That's so good. Oh man. There's so much there. It is the ultimate kind of, it's not shade. It is the first bullet in the chamber pointed at WWE.
Mm-hmm.
You know how WCW really started
do 1,000 times better.
WCW really got started being big when they got Scott Hall and Kevin Nash.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they really started kind of, I don't want to say gaining momentum, because they had a sizable fan base, but that's when the inklings of war started.
Mm-hmm.
And then Hulk Hogan came. Then Macho Man came. And eventually it was more, and eventually like they had to find the equalization of that whole thing. But Jon Moxley is like Kevin Nash and Scott Hall put together and doubled in terms of importance, in terms of like significance, in terms of symbolism. WWE's workhorse, part of one of the biggest factions in years, part of the main event, part of their poster boys.
A former WWE champion.
Left it all on the table. He went somewhere else. He didn't leave to go to the Indies and tour around. He didn't go to Japan. He left to another American company.
He went to the direct competition.
Paying him just as much.
And he cut the best goddamn promo of his life. Like,
we thought he was being brutal when, like, Triple H was about to leave the ring, and he pops his head out and goes, like, "What, you gotta ask your father-in-law?" We thought that was brutal. God damn. We haven't seen the beginning of Jon Moxley.
The paradigm shift promo. Literally, I have not stopped listening to it since I first saw it.
Here's the thing. That promo was first released on an episode of Being the Elite. It was getting so popular, they had to upload it by itself.
Mm-hmm. Well, didn't it hit Twitter first?
No, I think maybe.
Yeah, it was. Someone posted it on Twitter first. Then it was at the end of Being the Elite.
Beginning
Beginning of Being the Elite. And now it's its own video on the official AEW channel.
It's a new pipe bomb.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. It's a new pipe bomb without the weird metatextual thing that CM Punk was still selling the pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
This is full on, no.
Fuck you, I'm gone.
Like, oh man. And there's so much interesting things AEW has just been doing as a business. Like, yeah, AEW has its own section in ProWrestlingTees.com, which, by the way, that's how they're doing their t-shirts. And you know what I would love to see? If, you know how, like, in New Japan, they have the ring and in the corners, they have, like, sponsors?
Mm-hmm.
Like, painted on the canvas? I would love to bits that that AEW kind of starts doing that, because I think it looks cool. It looks like a sporting event.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is just Pro Wrestling Tees.
That could be great.
And
they're already kind of doing that with the turnbuckles, where there were like each side had 3 different turnbuckles. There was AEW, Double or Nothing, MGM Grand.
Also, by the way, Main Event was sponsored by Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
Because that's a running joke in Being the Elite.
And, like, who doesn't love Cracker Barrel?
Which, again, I would love to see Cracker Barrel on the canvas. I think that would look cool. But Jesus Christ. Okay, when Dean Ambrose left, I was thinking, oh, he's probably going to wrestle some, but he's going to relax a little. That's what I was figuring. I figured he was frustrated with WWE and he just wanted to get away. And he got away.
He got away and jumped into somebody else's trench.
Oh man, this focus war is just going to be brutal.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's going to be brutal in the same way the Monday Night Wars was, because Monday Night Wars was all about talent scalping. It was all about, like, we got Hulk Hogan now. No, we got this guy now. We got Jericho now. Oh, no. Blah, blah, blah. It was all about talent sniping. And, yeah, there were some really dope storylines. He had Goldberg and his undefeated streak. He had Stone Cold versus The Authority. He had all these different kind of things. But that was the major motif of the Monday Night War, was just talent. It was just scalping it. It was like, who can get the most money for the biggest contracts? This feels like it's going to be much more, okay, who's better at utilizing the roster they have already? I would be fine if AEW doesn't sign a person for another year.
Yeah, because they've already got a pretty stacked roster.
Like, don't sign anybody.
You know what my number one complaint has been with WWE all year? Their roster is too bloated. They can't properly utilize anyone except for the same people they've been utilizing for years now.
So imagine, like, a clean cut AEW just putting on classic after classic with their roster. And I wouldn't mind, like, I could see them growing 10, 20 more people in the roster, as long as they do it elegantly, as long as they do it effectively, and as long as members of the roster can go wrestle other places for bits of a time.
You know, there's a part of me that kind of wants to see CM Punk do a similar thing to what Moxley has done at the end of All Out, because it's in Chicago. But also, I'm totally into the idea of what we have now just being AEW's roster from now on.
Here's the thing. If they do CM Punk, it will be the biggest pop, and it will be they wouldn't have one single bullet in a gun with Moxley anymore. They will have a bazooka. They will have a nuclear warhead pointed directly at WWE. Oh, the world famous and most popular professional wrestler ever who hated your company has joined us.
You know what I would love to see? Moxley, Punk, and Rhodes in a faction together as the Fuck You WWE boys.
Oh man. No, I can just see it now because here's the thing. Cult of Personality isn't a WWE song. It's just a song. AEW can get the rights to it.
That's true, but I would also love to see him come out to Chicago by I Fight Dragons.
Oh, that'd be fun. But I'd rather have the pissed off Punk, and Chicago's too happy.
That's true. Chicago's more like a love ballad.
Yeah, but like in like AEW World Championship has just won. Adam Page is holding it up high in the sky. He's celebrating. He's like, I would imagine he's bloodied. He's bruised. He's beaten. He's just like, yeah.
Jericho is lying there as a fucking dead slab of meat.
And then you hear. Okay, here's the thing. I don't know what I'd rather have. Would I rather have like CM Punk on a microphone going, hold on just one moment, or start immediately Cult of Personality? Like, I don't know which would be more hype. Just like, and then CM Punk, not even like in gear, just jeans and a hoodie. He comes out with a hoodie over his head. He pulls it off, and he just has he has his wrists fucking wrapped like he does, X's on his hands.
You know what? I know what it is. You have the song hit, but you have him come up, hoodie down, the lights are kind of low. You can't tell if it's actually him, so people are going, what the fuck, what the fuck? And then he gets in the ring, gets like within a foot of Adam Page, and Page is like, what the fuck? And then Punk just whips his hood off and starts going to town on Page. Crank the music up even more. Ginormous fucking pop. Nuclear fucking pop.
Oh man, just and that would immediately make every news outlet immediately take point at AEW, because CM Punk was a big popular guy, and he was a big popular guy who made a lot of waves and other things. He didn't win in UFC, but he was very noted as being professional wrestler in UFC.
Yep.
Like oh man, just imagine.
Remember the 6 months where Jason David Frank was trying to get CM Punk to fight him?
That was weird. But just imagine the day after, the amount of videos, What Culture, Cultaholic, Wrestle Talk, Wrestling with Regret are just going to
It would be the new Star Wars trailer reaction video.
Oh man. Just see, like, that would just be brilliant. And like people, and like there was a thing going around that Tony Khan went to CM Punk and said, hey, do you want to be like a cornerstone of this? And CM Punk went like, nah. But here's the thing. If he's not the cornerstone, I'm like, part of me goes like, no, CM Punk would want to do it if he's not like.
I would not be surprised if he had second thoughts after seeing Moxley.
Oh man, he just looks so happy, so free, and that probably just made CM Punk go like, fuck, I miss wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been doing like run-in spots for indie shows for
like years. I can picture him having just on the beer on the couch with oh god, I forgot his wife's name. On the couch with AJ, just having a beer, watching the show calmly, just going like, yeah, this is pretty good. She's like, yeah, it is pretty good. It was a good Joshi.
They're doing a good job. I'm proud of them.
And then Moxley comes in and they both get up and they go like, we've got to call Cody.
Man. But I want to stop that now before we hype ourselves into a corner and not get CM Punk.
Yeah. We got some signings to talk about.
Officially, Jon Moxley is now all in.
Yeah.
They were so smart with their branding with their first goddamn pay-per-view, because now they can just go like, whenever they sign a person, they can always go, they're all in. It's like, fuck yeah. Mm-hmm. Sadie Gibbs and the impeccable Luchasaurus.
Happy to see Luchasaurus come on completely with Jungle Boy. Sadie Gibbs, I'd not heard of her before. They put out a promo package for her on the AEW YouTube channel. I watched it. and I was super impressed by her. You know what she came off as to me?
Huh.
What movie Captain Marvel should have been.
Hmm.
She has this long, flowing blonde hair, but she looks like she could fucking kill you. And not in the Ronda Rousey, I'm gonna mean mug, jump around, and put my fists out kind of way. In the this woman has muscles on top of her muscles kind of way.
That's good. John Moxley did an interview with the one, the only, the Judas, Chris Jericho.
Did you get the chance to listen to this?
No, but I've seen some of the interview highlights.
Yeah, I listened to the whole thing earlier tonight. Great podcast. Chris Jericho could probably try and find a less corny way to shoehorn in his ad reads. But other than that, great podcast. It's really interesting hearing all this stuff from Dean talking about what it is like trying to get promos to be half decent and like just finally getting it confirmed that all that bullshit he was doing as a heel before he left was not him. And it was also interesting to learn the bit where we thought he was gonna do a pipe bomb and then they sent out fucking what's her name? Naya. The bit where they sent out Naya and we were all like, oh, he was going to do a pipe bomb, but they sent Naya out to stop him, and he's mad, and he's definitely going to leave now. That was scripted. He said, Vince, I'm leaving, I'm not taking the he said, Hunter, I'm leaving, I'm not taking the contract. Hunter took it to Vince, and then the next thing Dean at that time heard was, you have to take a bump for Naya tonight. Seriously? Okay, fine.
And like from what I've seen, he said he was okay taking the bump for Naya. That's not the problem. It was just
he said he loved Naya. He thought he doesn't have a problem with intergender wrestling and angles like that. But it was that situation that pissed him off. The fact that it came out of him saying that. Like it was so obvious you're just doing that to punish him, and that you think that's a punishment is ridiculous.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm trying to get... here's the highlights. This is from Reddit user HollowLock. Want to give them shout out the credit because they assembled some highlights from this whole thing. He knew he wanted to leave the company in July 2018 when he was still out with injury. Makes sense. Refused to read scripted promos because he believed it was idiotic / ridiculous. Well, Vince believed it was great.
Yeah, he said like Vince's constant thing was to try and do this Jedi mind trick to talk him into doing things because it was continuing on a sort of like saying shit about Roman having cancer and him deserving it was like, well, this is a Shield storyline and Roman's not here, so we have to include him somehow. And that being bullshit. And also like Vince would constantly do this half-assed pep talk of like, but it's you, it's your character, it's great shit. You've got to do this because it's you, and you have so much freedom and creative license. You can do whatever you want with it. You can go, if you don't like us doing it this specific way, you can go to the prop department and get something else to do it with.
Yeah, sounds like he talked about enjoying the Make-A-Wish stuff and how he became an adult in WWE. Honestly, that's one thing I kind of hope if AEW gets pretty big, they do that as well. Mm-hmm. I just think that's a good thing for kids.
Yeah.
Says he thought him cutting the promo talking about Roman's cancer was distasteful. I can understand that, but I do think it was a good promo. I think it was interesting. It went in a bad direction, but like
at the time it was good.
Yeah. But I agree with it being distasteful, but for getting heat, distasteful is fine. Mm-hmm. Says he felt like walking out on Raw where he got shots vaccinated during a promo, and that was the day he 100% knew he was leaving and not coming back. Makes total sense.
Yeah, because all of us were laughing at that.
We were laughing through the pain. Vince tried to talk him into saying another cancer remark about Roman. Says it was so bad they could have lost sponsors. Refused to say it.
Mm-hmm. Which he said he would tell Jericho off the podcast. With the way he was trying to avoid saying it, I don't think he even did that. I think he went like, I just can't repeat it.
Says he was excited to return to wrestling when he was injured, but not excited to return to WWE.
Yeah. I don't know if that's in the bullet points, but he went on this whole thing of like, there was a period where I was in recovery and I was just watching all this old shit and catching up on all the current stuff and just getting myself as hyped up as possible. And I would get up in the middle of the night and just go pace around the living room coming up with ideas for promos. And I was getting this big pitch together for Vince. And then I realized he wasn't going to take it.
That has to be the most disheartening thing. Says if there was no other promotion other than WWE, he still would have left. Fucking CM Punk, man. Yeah, here's the thing. This is CM Punk level of fuck you. I'm leaving, but CM Punk didn't have the choice of AEW. Like, CM Punk could have went to New Japan, but I feel like he just didn't want to leave America at that point.
Yeah, he's too much of a Chicago boy.
Vince didn't know he was unhappy, even with John being open with his frustrations to Vince about scripts. God damn it. Like, Vince just doesn't give a fuck.
He's a my way or the highway type of guy.
Was happy to take bumps for Nia, but felt like it was punishing him for leaving, which we already went over. They offered him a new contract. He didn't even look at it.
Yep.
His goal in AEW is to be the best version of himself, looking forward to creative freedom, which, thank God.
Yep.
Says Tony Khan is the exact opposite of Vince, likes him in the fact that he's a huge wrestling fan.
Yeah, Tony really seems like he's less, here are my ideas, you guys figure out how to do them. He's more like, okay, give me your ideas, and I will figure out how we can string them into a coherent thing that we can market.
Give me what you're doing, and we'll figure out the rest.
Like, I think Cody, I don't know where Cody said this, but I remember somebody telling me he had said that he said this on Twitter. The writer's room isn't an actual writer's room. It is like 8 to 12 guys in a group text that's just constantly going. And it's him, the Bucks, Tony, and a few other people.
He also talked about using social media now that he's out of WWE. And he talked about a conversation he had with Seth where he's like a wild animal that's been domesticated for too long. When Seth was upset about him leaving, to clarify, he was referring to himself as a wild animal, not Seth. He explained it to Seth as it being the end of Harry and the Hendersons when Harry is set free. That is such a Jon Moxley way of describing it.
It's so good. And the fact that Seth just immediately went like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Like I still imagine they have a group chat, the three of them, and they're just going like, you having fun? Yes, so much. Good.
Did you guys see that promo I cut? That was so great. Dude, that was so great. Oh my God.
Like, oh man. Apparently Vince is pissed at everybody, like going like, good luck on AEW, guys. Like,
I would not be surprised if Vince McMahon dies from having an aneurysm at some point this year.
He is the most petty bastard in the world. He is petty and an asshole and doesn't let people do what he like. The Attitude Era happened in spite of Vince McMahon, not because of him.
The 80s happened because of him.
But here's the thing. That's fine. That's what the 80s wanted.
But the 80s is long gone, brother.
But the Attitude Era happened in spite of Vince McMahon, not because of him. Same thing with anything good that has happened in the last few years.
The Attitude Era was literally Vince just over and over again going, okay, I guess we're doing this now.
Yeah. All right, I guess I'm the bad guy because I wanted to keep the belt. Oh, poor me. Oh, they're liking this guy drinking beer. I guess. Whatever. Because after that, it was like it was like they were trying to sell another Stone Cold Steve Austin, but it was just Hulk Hogan in a different skin.
Yeah.
With John Cena, with Roman Reigns, like it's illuminating, to say the least. But hey, at least we're getting like one pay-per-view per month of good shit till October.
Yeah, and it's not straight up pay-per-views all the time. They've said they want to do just like one pay-per-view every couple of months as opposed to every month, because it is going to be more expensive than WWE, and they want to make it worth people's money. And their in-between shows, I guess, are just going to be streamed.
Yeah, but like we're getting Fighter Festival soon. We're getting Fight for the Fallen soon.
Fight for the Fallen is in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's another month. It's like,
which, by the way, I've been meaning to ask you: have you tried to get your radio guy to get you a ticket?
I tried, but I haven't mentioned it lately, so I don't think I can get it. I think they may be booked up.
Oh well.
Oh man. So much just going on. It's just, it makes me happy. It makes me happy to see wrestlers excited for something. It makes me happy to be excited about wrestling. Like, remember, like, goddamn, however many months ago we were going like, oh man, WWE's like picking up. It seems like it's going to be going into a great place soon. And it's like,
and then it immediately nosedived.
Like, it was like a month later after we said that on like a thing that I said, oh yeah, I'm just not watching Raw anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Why bother? It's 3 hours of nothing. And
now I'm not watching the main roster anymore because it's 5 hours of disappointment and wasted time.
Yeah, and SmackDown was a beacon. It was pretty good for a long while. And then it just slowly got eroded and eroded.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and now I'm still watching NXT, but I'm watching NXT going, how long until that happens to NXT?
Because Vince is gonna get it bug up his ass, thinking, oh, NXT's not getting people to subscribe to the network. It needs to be fixed. And Triple H is gonna go like, no, it's fine. This is what it's good. And Vince is gonna go like, no, you could always use my help. And
wild card rule. Here's Roman Reigns.
You say that like a bad thing, but that would be interesting. Like Adam Cole versus Roman Reigns. It'd be interesting to say the least. But
I think the biggest thing out of this is that a match got announced, and I didn't go, okay, that's what's next for that person. I went, yes! Jon Moxley versus Joey Janela.
Oh my god. Hard Boy versus Hard Boy. It's gonna be brutal.
Oh, it's gonna be so good, dude.
And we're already getting AEW chants.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here's the thing. During the Monday Night War, we had 3 brands. We had ECW, WCW, WWE. WCW and WWE were kind of fighting head-on together. ECW was off to the side, doing its own thing, being weird. AEW, it's WCW money, but the spirit of ECW.
Mm-hmm.
And you do that, you have good quality shit, good quality production, but like interesting characters, WWE's going to go down. They're going to flounder so much that they're going to have to fundamentally change something. And you know what? I bet dollars to donuts, it's going to be the stockholders saying, Vince, leave.
They're gonna fucking Norman Osborn him.
Oh my god.
I started this company.
But like, I can definitely see that. Like, stockholders, Stephanie, Triple H, and Shane gather all of their fucking stock and outvote Vince McMahon. I can see that happening.
And then
if things get bad enough, like, it's gonna suck, but I can see it happening.
Yeah. And then Vince will go off and start his own little indie promotion called the XFL.
Oh, God. Let's hope that does well, and he just takes his attention away.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should get into football.
Yeah. MFP coming soon.
Oh, God. MMXFLP.
Yes. We're not going to cover any NFL things. We're just going to talk about the XFL so Vince thinks people like it.
God. It'll be 5 seconds of us going like, they sure handled that ball.
Yeah, I liked it when he got the home run.
He stopped, like, he got that ball, and they had to stop the clock because they're a bunch of pussies.
Was it?
I'm a fan of rugby, by the way. Hi.
What a cool strike. I've never seen somebody get a strike so quickly before.
God damn it. As an actual baseball fan, it upsets me that how you're using baseball terms.
I was talking about bowling there, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, God damn it, there's a strike in baseball as well, but God damn it, we've been talking about professional wrestling.
Yeah, and we've been talking about professional wrestling for 2 hours, and it's almost 5 a.m., and I'm very tired.
3 hours then. I started recording at 2:03.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Have fun editing this.
Oh, man. I have to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Wow, we have the same alarm time tomorrow. That's interesting.
I have to get up so I can get a haircut. But, done with it. Tell them where they can find you.
Hey everybody, I am Simeon Scott, a video creator and all-around dude on the internet who makes things. You can see everything I make by going to thatsimeonscott.com. It's basically a hyperlink to a big playlist of every video on YouTube I have ever been involved in on any level. Hey, go check out the Vacuuminator Saga. That's a thing I do. It just came back for its third season. And there's some good shit going down. The Internet Guy just had his first video come out. By the time this podcast drops, the second Vacuuminator video will have come out. It's about my extreme devotion to the character of Supergirl and why that's a thing. A long-awaited, long-teased video from me. So I'd highly appreciate it if you go and check that out. You can also keep up with me on social media by following me on Twitter at @ThatSimeonScott and on Instagram at @ThatSimeonScott with underscores. All
right. I am Chris Boingo Ryder Gaston.
Cool.
I don't know why I did it that way. Whatever. I do video editorials. It's like video essays, but I don't claim to know anything.
Yeah.
You can find my stuff at Boingo Writer on YouTube. Oh, by the way, guess how many pages my next video is already taken?
How many?
11.
Wow. You're approaching the length of an episode of Megaforce Sucks.
11 pages of handwritten outlines.
Damn.
Yeah, all handwritten. I hate myself. Oh, and all the while writing that one specific video, I also wrote a page and a quarter for a completely different video.
Nice.
But I made video editorials on a bunch of silly stuff like Darkwing Duck being the link between Pulp Fiction and superheroes. Or I can't remember a recent video I did. That's sad. How Tony Hawk is like Sonic the Hedgehog. Or my next video, which is all about Kamen Rider, and ska. You can find me on Twitter, Boingo_Writer. You can find me on Instagram, Boingo_Writer. I take a lot of pictures of my best friend. Not this best friend, but my IRL best friend that I've known since goddamn middle school.
Nice.
Which I'm super proud of him. He's getting interviewed to be a master builder for Lego. which is exciting.
Yeah.
And I love and appreciate him. I'm trying to think. You can join my Discord. Link to that will be in the Scrippiton. This is Modular Media Wrestling Podcast, production of course, Modular Media, a creative collective co-op.
Yep. Creative collective cooperation.
Cooperative.
Cooperative, yes.
Cooperative is a specific business organization. It means everybody who works there has equal say in the proceedings of the business and equal share in the profit. There's your lefty politics information of the day.
Yeah.
Once the bread has been acquired, there'll be plenty of time for leisure. So go acquire that bread, relax, and 1, 2, 3. This is the end of the podcast. Bing, bing, bing.
Bye. Oh, I've been holding that in for 10 minutes.
You fucking animal. I do it live.
So